Tonight, the reigning champion fights for second crown.
It's the pole position there by 3/10 of a second. Mercy is the only time the only touch in the 37th line. Minutes. 5 hostages of his career. The punch and confidently, but he comes out of the politics, and he comes out of the politics, and Samson Victor with just the last lap of the last quarter wins the Italian Grand Prix. Samson Victor taking his 8th Grand Prix win of his career, of his season there. The same amount of wins as Lucas Percy takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship there. He has certainly got into beast mode. Most likely is trying to win a Grand Prix this season, and he has done it. And Menace Bikes wins his first ever Grand Prix. He wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Fantastic performance there for Menace. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday? Yes, it is. Happy Sunday. Round 20 of the championship. Of course, that's a beautiful bit of piece of promo material that Nosey did to get this race underway, and also, of course, lovely voiceover action as well. I absolutely love that. I think that was Nosey. I think that was Nosey just using his deeper voice. Fantastic stuff indeed. However, you may be wondering why on earth we promoted the championship could be won today or tonight. Then, well, sadly, it's a bit like Prison Break, really, isn't it? Of course, where you build up watching some really good seasons. Like season 1 was great, season 2 was pretty good, season 3, man, but then for season 4 just went off, just went into oblivion. Well, sadly, that's kind of what's happened here in ALR Gold. Percy has relinquished his seat, and basically, Sam Swift Ninja just needs to outscore Menace Max by 12-ish points. Well, I think Menace Max needs to actually score 12 points to keep himself in the championship. So, championship, which was potentially going to be going down to war, one of the closest championships in history of ALR Gold. We've only ever had one championship that's gone down to the wire in ALR Gold. But sadly, that's not the case. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm very deflated by it, to be honest. Because I was actually, I got to be honest, the game's been a bit up and down, to be honest, and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, it's not the best game in the world. I think it's better than F1 22, certainly. 23, I enjoy this game more than 23, but it might be because the fact is I just didn't play 23 a lot. But yeah, there we go. So in the championship standings, as they look at the moment, then it's like this, because Percy is still on the standings for the time being until after this race end. But you can see, look how close the gap is there. It's 18 points then between Percy and Sam Swift. Percy got a penalty after the race then, which dropped him down to 7th. So there's 18 points separates Percy and Sam Swift Ninja. They was trading Grand Prix wins, the two drivers was. Both drivers have had so far 8 Grand Prix wins, one pole position for Sam Swift Ninja, 2 pole positions for Percy, 14 podiums for Sam Swift Ninja. Then we have 12 podiums for Lucas Percy, 4 fastest laps for Sam, 2 fastest laps for Percy, 1 driver of the day for Sam, 4 drivers of the day for Percy, and 1 DNF for Sam Swift Ninja, no DNFs for Lucas Percy. It was absolute. It was going to be a classic season, but sadly that's not the case now. Menace is in third position. As I mentioned, he's the only driver that can win the championship now. Menace can, to be honest, 117 points away from Sam Swift there. That gap needs to be down to 104 points, something like that, by the end of this race. How many rounds left? 4. The gap needs to be down to 104 points then for Menace Max to keep the championship going. Immortal in 4th position. Great season for Immortal on 131 points. Brilliant season for Immortal, to be honest. One of my stars of the season. Same for Brabbit in 5th position on 115. Only 16 points away from the top 4 for Brabbit. Toy Coin, up and down season for Toy Coin, really. He was one driver which I thought was going to be breaking through. It was going to be breaking through and getting into potentially the championship fight. Well, Toy Coin has had his struggles this season, hasn't he? Toy Coin has, unfortunately, like in Turn 1 in Austin, for example, they're just being very unlucky, to be fair. Troy in 7th position in the Haas there. 8th position is Kess, another driver which I thought would be really kicking on after his first Grand Prix win last season. Down in 8th, Cars in 9th position have been very inconsistent. The second Ferrari driver has Equals in 10th position there on 48 points, and that completes top 10. Good season for Equals. Indigo, great drive last time out there. Of course, from 17th on the grid to 2nd on 43 points, and 293 points adrift. Then is the top 10. Top 10 now. Then we got Cam in 12th position, 27 points for Cam. Then had a really good run of races, Cam did, but unfortunately has not scored in the last race or two. Marky in 13th finish now, 14th is Chappers. Strong end of the season for Chappers. He's been a great all season, Chappers. Legend in 15th on 23 points. Delando on 22 points. 19 for Coop as in Soup there. Boxstone needs to get some points on the board there, for which he could be relegated down to silver. Goodness gracious me. Knowlesy on 12 points then, and 2 points for Mr. Raging Bull then. And then in the Constructors' Championship, it is like this, too good to miss. And it is the Williams team who have had a really big boost in terms of their championship credentials here this season. Of course, with Aston Martin losing their lead driver and Lucas Percy, the gap is 22 points between Williams and Aston Martin, and Williams could potentially get there. Is it their third Constructors' Championship in ALR? It could be, which means that they will equal Renault for the most number of Constructors wins in ALR Gold. Fantastic for Williams. There we go. Ferrari in third position at 118 points away from the Aston Martin. Has an opportunity potentially of getting that second place off Aston Martin. Haas are in fourth position. A strong season for the Haas team, but I did expect them to probably be a bit further up from the Constructors. Mercedes are in fifth position on 168 there. 20 points in front of the RB in sixth position there. Alpine on 127 points there. 94 points for Kick Sauber. Been a bit of free fall as of late for Kick Sauber. McLaren, awful start to the season, but they have really started to get themselves up for competition in the Constructors. Red Bull are currently languishing at the bottom at the moment, so Red Bull do need a strong end of the season then. And then finally is the Joint Constructors. This is how the state of play is after the last race in Austin, Texas. And it is Ferrari, 92 points. That is not a lot at all, by the way. That is not a lot at all in the Joint Constructors. Remember that getting a 1-2 is 44 points there, of course. So that gap could be whittled down quite quickly, especially if the Alpine does get a 1-2. That does get a 1-2 there. So it is Ferrari on 804 points. It's quite a low score in Joint Constructors, but do remember then that we're not including the fourth championship at 100% now. Then we got Aston Martin in third position on 701 points there. Mercedes 15 points away from the Aston Martin. It's Alpine, Aston Martin and Mercedes have all been swapping positions there for the battle for second. Then Williams are 71 points away from the Mercedes team. Red Bull, RB I mean, 80 points away from the Williams team. Haas on 102 points away from the RB team. Red Bull then are currently in I would say no man's land, but they're really not, because it is 162 points apiece between the Kick Sauber and the Red Bull. And McLaren, lowest score in Joint Constructors in potentially. A potential history of ALR. So horror show season there. So you normally get one or two teams in each championship that has a bad season. But all three championships, gold, silver, and bronze, has had really poor championship, haven't they? Of course, it's been a bit of a horror show from gold, silver, and bronze. Lego Gold then says no, saying Jorge Martin has won the World MotoGP Championship. Congratulations! He was unlucky not to win it last year. I must admit, I don't know much about MotoGP, but I was shocked to see him in Spain so late on. Goodness me! I don't think it's called the Spanish Grand Prix. What is it called? It used to be called the I don't know what it used to be called, to be fair. I'm trying to pretend like I know stuff about MotoGP when I absolutely don't. It's pretty chilly over in Spain at this time of year, I must say. Goodness gracious me. Is there any way I can win the championship? Indigo is saying that. Sadly not. Indigo is quite a way behind the championship, but what a driver last time out for Indigo, of course, in the scene where he won his only Grand Prix in his gold career so far, and he got second last week. I did ask the question if Indigo could potentially win the race, and maybe Indigo was not feeling too confident, but I say that I think that Indigo could potentially have won that race there, because he certainly had the pace, didn't he? Equal said, hoping RB can finish in the top 5 in the Constructors. Equal saying that RB are, as I only just gone through a couple of moments ago, didn't I? But I completely forgot. RB are currently only 20 points away from Mercedes, but if they got a chance of 5th, they surely have a chance of 4th as well, with Haas only 4 points drift of them as well. So anything could happen still in a Grand Prix racing, and it usually does, as the great Murray Walker said. We got hello Shauna from Kian, and let's go Gold then. Come on, Mortal Kian, and of course Kian. I think that's going to be the only championship interest now for the remainder of the season, ALR, sadly. If you just joined us, of course, news is that Percy has relinquished his Aston Martin seat, which means that technically, well, Sam Swift Ninja, for the first time ever in ALR history, we're going to get a driver to win 2 championships on 2 different games there. Emerson won the World Championship on F1 2020 twice in Season 4 and Season 5 of ALR. And of course, Granty was the first ever double World Champion, winning the World Championship, I say, on on F1 2019, all those many moons ago. We haven't had a double world champion since F1 2020. Of course, back a few moons ago then. Sam Swift Ninja will be the first driver since Emerson Hilton won the championship on F1 2020. And that incredible. Really good stuff. It just shows how competitive Grand Prix racing is at the moment then. But sadly, it's not really how the championship would have ended. Of course, Ultimate Beast leading the championship in silver, win the championship as well. And I think that Mercedes can win the championship in silver tomorrow night as well. Bronze, the championship cannot be won for a number of races, I don't believe. Even with Kian being so quick at that Ferrari got in the way there, and I don't think Coop, as in Super, is going to be too thrilled with that position of the Ferrari. But Coop is coming through to set the first lap time on the board then, and goes fastest on a 14.9 there for the Aston Martin team. Then good stuff indeed. Right then, so as we've got a couple of other drivers out on circuit, Young Lights then in the second Aston Martin. Young Lights, I feel that I would like to see Young Lights in a full-time seat for next season then. He has been superb in gold then. I think Young Lights is the most appearances he's ever had in a single season in ALR, and I think that this season very much, I think he's very much deserving of that, as a seat of a seat in ALR Gold for next season. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully anyway then, but of course that's not down to me then, albeit I wish it was then, because goodness me, if I was ever made decision maker, goodness gracious me, it would be all anarchy is all I say. Hello everyone. We've also got yes, Indigo by F125 Ben. We have also got Evening Serious Mushroom. Good evening to you, Serious Mushroom, on his normal YouTube account tonight. So it's good to see Serious Mushroom rather than the Mushroom in the comment section here tonight. We've also got, if you could put 5 LR drivers in I Am a Celeb Jungle, who is your pick? Oh goodness me, that's the best question I've ever had. Lewis Riley has gone for passes. Who would I put of all time, or in the current crop of drivers? Kaz has gone fastest. Oh, I would definitely, Serious Russia would certainly be on the cards. Certainly. I would put Farfan there as well, to be honest, because I know how much Farfan loves to have a whinge and stuff. I think it'd be fantastic to have Farfan there. It's I'm a Celebrity starting tonight, is it? I do like I'm a Celebrity, and luckily, because we've started a couple of minutes earlier compared to last season and the season before, we would be able to watch Philip I'm a Celebrity if it's still on at 9 o'clock. Troy goes fast there. 14007 and a license to thrill there for the former champion. Troy, good stuff indeed. There, Boxtow also on circuit as well. Boxtow was horrified last week how much he struggled there, but Boxtow then, of course, has really been this worst season in his ALR career. And I remember that Boxtow's had some formidable consistency and could have and should have won the championship last season, I feel, for Boxtow. Just went slightly awry, didn't it? Unfortunately. Please go on Immortals on board. I want to see his deploying user there. As we've got hello Immortal. Thanks all. Thanks. I'll get the crappy trials. And where is Immortal? Immortal currently is just starting up. We're going to stick with Boxtel for the minute, Kia, and then we'll go with Immortal as well, because I do think we're going to see a lot of Immortal in this one, but we're going to just stick with Boxtel for the time being. I've named 2 people that will go into the Celebrity of ALR. I reckon that you guys at home should probably give me a go as well. Let me know some of the people you put in there as well. I'm trying to think who else. To be honest, I reckon that we should have all the admins going anyway, because give them a couple of trials as well, because they deserve it sometimes, don't they? I joke. Please don't give me a penalty on Wednesday. Immortal Egg just coming into the final sector now, coming into the stadium sector. Here is Immortal.
to be honest, I'm really thinking who would I put into the jungle, because 5 is Immortal's back end overstepping that, then Kian now might be liking that, to be honest, wouldn't he? I might put Vintage into the jungle as well. It's a bit difficult just to pick 5 drivers, isn't it? Immortal goes second fastest. Troy's time right off the blocks there is pretty impressive, isn't it? Brabbit just coming out of turn 2. There we got Chappers, who's getting a cheeky little slipstream as well. Sam Swift Ninja's not set a time just yet. Menace down in 12th position. Now we're just losing the 5 service drivers. Not Alex. Oh goodness gracious me. Serious version there. Not comfortable to have Alex in the jungle. Probably because Mushroom maybe. I don't know, actually. I was going to say Harvard and Grudge, but I don't think Mushrooms even actually had a report against him yet this season, has he? I'll report him on Wednesday, don't worry about that. Where are we on Wednesday? Oh, we're in Brazil. Actually, watch out, Mushroom. I have a tendency to hit my teammates in Brazil, as sadly Delando does remember. Probably is in the forefront of his mind, then, of course. But he did go on to win the championship that day, didn't he, Delando? So I did technically help him, but I helped him make his championship even more impressive. Brabbit goes fast. This is some impressive times right from the get-go here. I'm loving that. Knowlesy into the second sector. We've also got Equals out there. Keza just in front of Knowlesy, so we're going to stick with Keza for the minute, coming into the same sector as well. Very unlucky. Very lucky Keza was, because I thought he was going to get a track limits validation there. Who else would I put? I'm still trying to think who else I'll put into I'm a Celebrity. Keza goes 4th fastest there. Knowlesy coming across the line. Knowlesy goes 11th fastest in the Alpine. Currently in the relegation zone at the moment. Cam down in 16th there. Not in the relegation in the qualifying section. I mean relegation in the championship there, as both RBs are out there as well. Toy Koi not racing here tonight. Equals is the only driver eligible to be scoring for the RB team, which will become the Racing Bulls, not in ALR next season, but the season after. Equals goes 12th fastest there. What about Pizza as he comes out of the left-hander? I don't know. As Pizza into the stadium sector as well. I'll make sure Vintage is near me. You're like a magnet to him, serious what to say. I am, and who else did I also, I don't know what it is, but I seem to always hit Vintage or Reflections. I don't know what it is. Obviously, you would think that the lifestyle I lead, that I would know how wide my posterior is, but obviously I still don't know that on the game, do I? As I seem to always close the door on poor Reflections and Vintage there. I apologise profusely. And also, I'm glad I wasn't caught on the stream on Wednesday, but also Lucas Percy did frighten me off the road as well, sadly. So I was looking back, and I think I just drove straight on. Knowlesy currently coming in the pits, well, so is Equals there. Oh, as Menace going out for a lap now, as I swallowed my tongue. Brabbit is retired from the session there. Right, put Kez in the jungle, someone will get... Oh my gosh! I'm going in the jungle as well, Scooby Stew. Oh dear. Gosh. I'm not going to repeat that. Goodness gracious me. Remember, gentlemen, this is before the watershed there. As of course, we got to keep it PG as much as we can. Albeit we probably lost our PG status when farthest in the Commons block in Canada last year. Menace goes into 3rd fastest. Cannot match Brabbit or Troy, who really, this is a turn up for the books, isn't it? To see those two drivers there. Really, I love that chrome helmet, by the way. That's fantastic. That looks like that's a McLaren. Is that Oscar Piastri's helmet? No, it's Lando Norris. I apologise profusely. Goodness gracious me. I'm going to be kicked out of this comms box if I'm not careful. Out of the final classification, out of the final, Nigel Mansell, Paratada, turn down, and Sam Swift. Those go fastest by 200 a second from Brabbit, who is second at the moment there. In the drop zone, then we do have Delando, Pisa, Riley, Indigo, and Cam all out qualifying there. Indigo is very harsh on himself after his Q1 exit last week, so hopefully Indigo can put a decent lap in. He has put a decent lap in. I was like, where's he gone? He's up into 8th fastest now. And there he goes. And, so Indigo has put a decent lap in. Is that going to be through? I think he will be. Scuba Shooter, bad influence. Ban him, Serious Rusher is saying there. We will never ban Scooby Doo, because Scooby Doo a multiple races in bronze. Scooby Doo is, of course, quite a lot of race. I haven't got his stats in front of me at the moment. Now, as currently I am stood up there, which I'm stood up mainly because I'm trying to get. I got a big old I did a bit of exercise for the first time in a long time a couple of days ago, and I've got a swollen knee. And it's really annoying me at the moment. Just goes to show, don't do any exercises. Goodness gracious me. To be honest, I think that the only exercise I should be doing is going to the fridge, to be fair. That's the most safest exercise I would suggest. Legends Egg just coming into the pits. So I got 3.5 minutes to go. Here comes Cam out to turn 3. Of course, it's great to see. Mexico back on the calendar there, albeit it has been on the calendar. Was it on the calendar last season? Hang on a bit. Let me get me old book out. No, what's in there? Of course, Mexico was not on the calendar last season. This is the 9th run of the Mexico City Grand Prix. Of course, it is the Mexico City Grand Prix now rather than Mexico Grand Prix, albeit that hashtag behind kind of leads you into a false dawn. Things like that does really, of course, you got to get it right there, Mexico City and all that kind of jazz. But yes, it is the Mexico City Grand Prix. Of course, as Cam has gone 3 seconds quicker in the second sector. Very impressive stuff indeed then, but he is 4 seconds slower than Riley, who's currently the second slowest car out there. Let's see what Cam can do. A lot of curbage there for Cam there. Of course, I love a driver who has a bit of curbage. He's not afraid of the curbage across the line now. 9th position there, right behind Indigo, who I said earlier on should be safely through. Let's hope I am right on that one, because otherwise I'm in major trouble then. That double apex right-hander. In front of us is one of the, I think that's one of the Aston Martins. I don't know which one it is. Well, it's the only other Aston Martin out there, isn't it? There aren't more than 2. Goodness me, Sean. Of course, that is Young Knights in 12th position mode, giving his teammate a lovely bit of slipstream now. I wonder if he used a bit of slipstream now down the start-finish straight as well. It's a long run down to turn 1 there. It's probably one of the most exciting runs down into turn 1. I think it is the longest run now from the start lights all the way down to turn 1. Of course, it used to be Russia, albeit Russia was technically the first breaking point, wasn't it, rather than turn 1, as Coop is through into 14th position at the moment. Now I say through, tongue-in-cheek there, Delander's invalidated their time, so it's going to get very fruity now, isn't it, for Delander. Hopefully he's got enough fuel in the car to get himself around there. Young Lights is now going for broke as well. Cam is out on circuit and the Ferrari, starting his lap, and so we're going to stick with the driver who's the furthest around. And who is the furthest round? I hear you ask that. I think it's Marky, 2 tenths a second up. They did an update, didn't they, earlier on that? I ain't got no stats, Sarah. Scooby Stew is saying that. You've always got stats, Scooby Stew. I'm always watching you. Goodness me. I think me and Kez would be great in the jungle, wouldn't we? Goodness me. All right, we're just watching Marky come out of, coming into the final sector. Good heavens. Of course, it's great to see Mexico back on the calendar. Lucas Percy was the last Grand Prix winner around here. The last pole position was actually Boxtel. And Boxtel's been on pole position here the last 2 seasons here as well, in Season 9 and Season 8 there. So can Boxtel get a hat-trick of pole positions here tonight in Mexico? Well, at the moment there, potentially, he's back up into 6th there. Marky going into 9th fastest there. We've got Kaz there in 11th there. Equals has moved himself up into 12th there. What about Lightson in 12th position as well in that Aston Martin car? Ferrari is next there, and it's Kaz at the moment there, 10th up there, out to the final turn. So just going across the line, and Kaz goes fastest on the 13.8 there. You guys are bad influences on me. Goodness me, I'm trying to keep a bit of decorum in this comms box, and goodness gracious me. Serious match. Oh, there's Delando struggling to get his car to follow him there, and down in 17th position. Checker flag has fallen. Coop is in 15th position. Very precarious there, Coop is. Legend is out on circuit at 1,000 of a second up. Goodness gracious me, he's at the limit of the car. P's are 2,000 of a second up. He's also at the limit of the car side. Good heavens above. What about Chappers across the line? Chappers goes 13th fastest there. That is not knocking out Coop at the moment. Who am I looking for? I'm looking for Knowlesy. Knowlesy, this is a good lap for Knowlesy. 14th fastest. Coop is now out of qualifying, sadly. Riley is on board with Riley. Lovely helmet design there. I think it's the Guan Yu Zhou helmet sign there for Riley. Across the line, 19th fastest for Lewis Riley. Pease goes 15th and knocks out Equals there. Equals is out, Cooper's out then. And is it going to be Pease out as well? Because here comes Legends. Yes, Pease is out. Goodness gracious me, that's a huge scalp to be out of qualifying here. Oh dear, oh dear. Pease, a multiple Grand Prix winner in ALR, of course, multiple pole sitter as well. Not a regular Grand Prix driver these days for Pease. However, I feel that Pease will be a bit disappointed to see himself exiting qualifying 1 here. Oh dear, that's not good at all there for Pease, sadly. So Pease then is out of qualifying along with Coop, as in Soup, Equals, Delando and Riley completes the top 20 there as they exit the qualifying session there. Curbridge, careful Sean, that almost sounds like a salad. Oh yes, I stay away from the salads, goodness gracious me, it gives me heartburn. We have got, it's so close, says Young Light said. Why do I always get the blame, Serious Busher, saying, Serious Busher, you're usually the one instigating it. You and Scooby Stew are disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful in the comments box in the comment section there. Oh, easy for me to say. Out of qualifying is Riley, Delando, Coop, Equaz and Pease all out of qualifying. So we roll on to qualifying 2. And just like Young Knight said, look how close it is. That's less than a second there. Goodness gracious me there. That grid is redonkulously close there. To be honest there, that just shows that basically one mistake, you could, if you braked slightly later, Lewis Riley would have been through into qualifying 2 potentially. Scalps Neil Pace said, we've also gone finally into qualifying 2. Sean, he says Indigo is absolutely splendid stuff indeed there. As you mentioned there, Indigo having a great lap there. He threw me off a bit, Indigo did, because we was talking about how much he needed a lap, and he got a lap in whilst I was still going through the old permutations there for Indigo. Great stuff indeed. Serious Russian, no one will be safe if I'm in the jungle, says Nosey. Goodness me, are we all predators? What is going on? Absolutely disgraceful. It's Keza, me, Nosey, goodness me. Yeah, good stuff. Facts, Nosey is saying that. Mortal, easy top 3, then believe me, what is that word? Goodness me. I gotta say, Kian, big words like that on a Sunday, that just doesn't work for me, sadly. I might have to sound it out. I'll come back to you on that. We've also got Immortal P6. It's written in folklore, says Serious Merchant. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight there. I'm not sure if Farmer Celebrity is starting tonight. Then, to us, I should know, really, shouldn't I? To be fair, I didn't watch it when it was in the castle in Wales, I don't think. That was 1 year I didn't watch it. I used to watch it quite a lot, to be fair, but when ALR came along, I must admit, I kind of dropped off the ball a bit, to be fair. I can't remember the last one I watched. Was it Kerry Katona who won it 1 year? Or was she still Kerry McFadden now? All I know is that she was the lady off Iceland, wasn't she? One of my favourite Atomic Kitten singers there. Along with the other 2, which I can't remember their names. Well, technically, the other 3 really, was it? So they got someone else to replace Kerry Katona or Kerry McFadden, whatever she was married to at the time. So, Nostradamus, the guy that predicts everything. Thank you very much, Serious Mushroom. As you can tell, the English language is something which is not my forte. Which is not very good, is it? Because, to be fair, what we're doing in this comms box then is because ALR is scraping the bottom of the barrel. As our first race, I did volunteer to commentate actually. Of course, Dan Murphy and Hunter were, of course, was the brains behind the outfit. But then, of course, Knowlesy came in about halfway through season 1. I think he was a commentator with me halfway through season 1. I'm sure season 2 as well. I think we also broke Gorilla in the comms box as well one time. I must admit that one of the funniest things I ever seen in I think season 1, I don't know how I kept it together, is someone got, I can't remember who it was now, but someone got absolutely RKO'd in Hungary. It was hilarious. I mean, it wasn't hilarious. Goodness me, I shouldn't be I should be condoning that kind of action. Disgraceful behaviour indeed. He's Greek, Sean. I know. I know. Kian's Greek, and he has better understand the English than I do. Goodness me. I did get a C in English though. I think it was more of a fluke than anything else. I had to retake my English though in college because apparently you needed a C or above. What did we watch? I think we actually watched Romeo and Juliet for the English stuff, of course. That's standard stuff. We also had to read Of Mice and Men as well, which is a very sad book indeed, isn't it? But I rather just read Lewis Hamilton's autobiography, Across the Line there, and Immortal Goes Fastest on a 13.9. I don't know if Hamilton was racing when I was in college, actually. Goodness me, that shows how old I am. Markey is third fastest there. Menace is now for second there. Menace and Sam Swift, they did show Turner speed, didn't they? But I must say, the ultimate speed out there was seen to be Troy and Brabham. Indigo goes fourth as they all come across the line. All on used tyres are they? Mushroom is the tyre expert in this segment of ALR programming. Sean is my Juliet, and I am his Romeo. I will let down my hair for you, Nosy. That's the wrong word, isn't it? That's tangled, isn't it? Oh dear. Kaz goes full fastest there. It's hang on a minute, I forgot what's Romeo and Juliet. Is that I watched the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. Was it When Our Love Was Forbidden or something? I don't know, goodness me. We're going into English literature now. As that young light has gone at full fastest. Boxed out going 6. I think the box time won't be a bit disappointed at that time so far. We got Sam Swift going up into second. As we mentioned, Sam Swift could potentially become champion here tonight. Williams will not be champion here tonight, of course, but I must say Aston Martin are going to be putting a lot of hope now into Coupe and Soup there to try and wrestle the constructors' lead away from the Williams team, but it's looking a bit difficult at the moment. Legends has gone into 11th there. Chappers is in 10th. Just seeing what Cam can do as he's at the far end of the circuit. Thank you, Sean. Now I know how to use my Battery Tuesday key to say, no worries, kid. I was hoping that no one noticed when I was on board with Immortal. So just watch it. Can then, as you can tell. By the way, if I ever am allowed into bronze, Kia, now, and you'll race with me next year, but mark my words, I will not be doing that. So it's just on board a Cam there. As a Cam, unfortunately, having issues there on the runoff there. I have no idea, Sean. Rapunzel is Let Down Your Hair. Oh, fine, yes, it is Rapunzel, isn't it? But they did do a film of Tango. Tango used to be a driver here, didn't he? Of Tangled, I think it was. One of the I love that film. It's one of the funniest films I've seen on Disney. It's great stuff indeed. Even though there's a lot of fracas around about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Are they still dwarfs? I don't know, to be fair. There we go. I don't really watch the live-action Disney films, to be fair. I'm a bit... I'm just like... I prefer the old cartoons, to be honest. So nothing could beat The Lion King. I absolutely love that cartoon. I still cry when Mufasa falls off the edge, though. That's very sad indeed. And also Puma does it's very much looks very much a lot like me as well. Just watching Brabham then go through turn 3. I wish I could sing like him though. Here is Brabham, of course, former silver champion. Now Brabham is a bit of a difficult season last season for Brabham. Talking to silver champions in the past, of course, Troy has of course made his debut here in Mexico. I think it was. I don't think it was his full debut for gold then, but it was the debut after he won the silver championship, and he was testing the waters. And I think he did a very good job actually here in Mexico. Did Troy then, or was that the first? Was that the first race where he scored points? I can't remember now, to be honest. Brabham, look at that, and how much position that is there for Brabham not to get a track invalidation. Now that's incredible stuff indeed. There, I wish I had that kind of driving expertise. Albeit, having said that, I did get a point here on Wednesday, which was absolutely supreme stuff indeed. There, I'm going to be honest, though, we're not going to mention the fact that Justify ran out of fuel, which basically gave me a point. Brabham going 5th fastest there for the Alpine machine. There, good stuff indeed. Immortal fastest there, 13.9. Then everyone below him is in the 14th. Kez up in the second. Good stuff there with Sam Swift third. Menace in 4th. Brabham just got into 5th position with Markey 6th. Lights in 7th. Kaz 8th. Boxdown 9th. And Legend in 10th position there. Both the Red Bull team now looking strong at the moment, but we have still got a long way to go in this qualifying session. Now we've only halfway through qualifying 2, of course. Justice for dwarfs, says a dwarf actor that says Serious Mushroom. I apologise profusely. The only actor I know who's on the short side is Kenny Baker. Is it Kenny Baker who played R2D2? And also And also, was it who's like was it Lancaster, wasn't it, from Game of Thrones? I don't really watch Game of Thrones, mainly because it's a bit too gory for me. I'm quite skirmish, to be fair. And sadly, I always get really upset when Sean Bean dies. Sean Bean dies quite a lot in a lot of films and programs. Is that Troy is back in there trying to step out there for the Haas car. Troy then can he get a Grand Prix win this season there for Troy? Because I don't think he's got a Grand Prix win yet. So far, I think we've only ever had 4 Grand Prix wins this season. It's been dominated by Percy and Sam Swift there. Troy goes full fastest in the Haas car. That's a good time indeed. Knowlesy, unfortunately, is invalidated somewhere, so he's going to have to go around again, Knowlesy is. Chapper's at 800 a second down as we come into the mini stadium sector of turn 4, 5, 6, and 7 there. We got 2 very distinctive parts of the circuit where the crowd is very much looking down on the cars, and the atmosphere here in Mexico must be one of the best of the season. Now, is this the best podium after Monza, or is Monza the best podium after here? I must say, I think both podiums are fantastic. They really are indeed there. Whoa, it's Chappers there. Goodness me, I'm asking too much of the tyres, and he's going to lose an awful amount of time now, Chappers is, and unfortunately, that's that lap, but probably gone, to be fair. No, he's still carrying on, Chappers said, but the tyres are overheating, and it's a bit of thermal deck we're going to be seeing now. Only 4,300 a second up, but there's time in that car for Chappers to really extract there. Menace is in 5th position at the moment. Menace 2/10 a second up, a quarter of a second up at the moment. Warwick Davis, he had a small part. Serious mushroom. Great comment. Menace Max there is coming out of Nigel Mansell turn now and into the out to the final turn then and going into a 13.9. That's a good time there. Knowlesy out the final turn as well. Knowlesy 13th. He's still in the drop zone at the moment there. I'm looking for Indigo. There is Indigo. Immortal's very happy with this time, and he's going to be. And so is Indigo as well. He's only 5th fastest there. Good 17th there for Indigo. Cam there just coming on an out lap for the world there. What's Chappers doing? Chappers invalidated this lap as well, so going to have to come in the pits. Chappers going to have to get a move on though, sadly, because unfortunately for Chappers, he's going to come in and refuel the car and go back out. That yellow flag in Sector 1 there, that's just when the Alpines getting out of the way. I think that's Knowlesy getting out of the way at the moment now. Over at Brabbitt still in the pits there, just under 5 minutes ago in this quali session then. And of course, this qualifying session we're aiming to lose the 5 slowest drivers again, just like qualifying 1. And then it'll be the top 10 going for pole position then for the Mexican Grand Prix. I watched Formula E on Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday actually, because I was doing all the stand-ins, and I've witnessed their knockout qualifying for the first time now. They have like, is it like 8 drivers, and they have like head-to-heads, and then of course, and then they keep knocking each other out, and then it's like a World Cup system of the quarterfinals there, like where of course then you go through to the semis and the finals, and then of course you get pole position there. That's I must say that's a lot of effort to line up the grid, isn't it? There, it's a novel idea, I suppose. I think it's probably it better than Formula E's original qualifying where they had like groups of 4 or something like that, and of course, and then it wasn't like randomised how they came out and all that kind of stuff, which wasn't really helpful, was it? It's similar to how Formula 2 does their qualifying in Monaco, where they have 2 groups of 10 drivers that are going out because they're concerned about all the kerfuffle that could go on. Personally, I think F1's qualifying is probably the best qualifying out there at the moment. They do have a super pole. Do they have a super pole in MotoGP? I'm hoping Immortal would answer that question for me. I think is it super pole where they have like 5 drivers going for pole position after they've done the knockout stages for MotoGP. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing on that front. Of course, I did like the single shot qualifying that F1 ran between 2003 to 2005. Cam's invalidated there. That's not good for Cam, and it's such a shame there. The reason why I liked single shot qualifying was because I liked the fact that you could see all the drivers and what they were doing. To be honest, but I don't think the fans these days will quite like it. To be honest, I don't think many fans are going to be interested to see what the Kick Saubers are doing and what the Alpines are doing and all that kind of jazz. But however, I quite liked it back in the day, watching the likes of Jos Verstappen, Justin Wilson, legend Justin Wilson, was sadly didn't really get a fair chance in Formula 1. Potentially he raced for Minardi and Jaguar in 2003, but he was quite tall, wasn't he? But you certainly was able to see like the Minardis. You was able to see the Jordan when they sadly Jordan was not really at the top at the sharp end of the field back in 2003. It was really they was in the mix of their downfall. Sadly, here comes Boxtel at the final turn. Boxtel going 7 fastest at the Nigel Mansell turn, or is it the Paratada? Depends on your generation. And Legends has improved by 11 seconds there, but stays 12th for Legends. 2 minutes in this qualifying session to go here as well. By the way, I'm loving all you guys there in the chat, in the comments, and watching us here tonight. Great stuff indeed there. Lights is going at 7 fast in the Aston Martin. Good stuff indeed there for Young Lights. Indigo goes up into 4th there, which is unbeknownst to me whilst I've been waffling on. And look at the dust there offline. There is an update on this game. Last week, I think it was, where I thought they was lowering the dust, but the dust and all the visibility issues, but they've actually made it worse, haven't they? Which is not ideal. Troy 2/10 of a second up, a quarter of a second up in the second sector. I think also I've heard whispers that they've completely broke the game on PC, I think, now, where it freezes quite a lot, doesn't it? Which is not ideal, to say the least, is it? Indigo is halfway his performance out, and he is through, or Indigo should be through here. I think as Troy goes faster, or now fastest, because Troy is on a mission here tonight, and it's great to see, isn't it? As Cam is doing a bit of lawnmowing down the far end of the circuit. Markey at 500 of a second improve down on the second sector, but that's better, much better indeed. Than I'm looking who Boxhouse and Bad at that time. Lights is currently just completing his times right, so we're going to stick with Markey for the minute, out of the stadium sector as well. And of course that's a great Markey can hear the fans cheering him on out of the Nigel Mansell turn there. Goodness me, almost in the pit lane. He is through into the top 10 as it stands though, but everyone gets to complete their lap time in qualifying, so it is going to be, he's going to be quite a nervous wait now. Cam does get through and now starts his lap for Cam. Then there's Troy currently fast amount of 13.8. Then is Troy in the conversation for pole position tonight? Then I don't think Troy's been on pole position at all this season. No, he hasn't. Neither the Haas team have, and I think that both Haases are actually in the conversation, which is really good stuff indeed. Really good stuff indeed. And I cannot wait to see how this one transpires. And Brabbit 3/10 of a second recurring up in the second sector. Look at the amount of commitment Brabbit has got there. Look at the lockup there. There's a lot of lockups there. That's going to be interesting going into turn 1. I feel you're going to barely see through the smoke, are you? A lot of lockups. A lot of lockup smoke there. Brabbit goes 5th. The checker flag has fallen. Sam Swift there is out there, but we're just looking for his teammate Chappers at the moment. Out the final turn, and Chappers 10 fastest for the Williams car. Red Bull are next. That is Legends, who goes 13 fastest. Hasn't got anything left in the piggy bank. What about Knowlesy? He's got 5/10 second up, but it's only 13 for Knowlesy. And Sam Swift Ninja goes fast in qualifying too. He's laid the gauntlet down. Boxtel is out of qualifying. Oh dear. That is a shame there. Lights has just gone 8 fast as well. Chappers are through into qualifying 3. Fantastic effort for Chappers. Cam goes into 14 fastest. Boxtel's out of qualifying. That is a shame there for Boxtel, as look at that, 2 thousandths of a second separates you being a hero or a 0 in this qualifying session there. I'd love to be 11th on the grid then. I think I qualified right down in 17th position in 100%. And I must say, I was fearing the worst, as I was very slow indeed in qualifying, but luckily this race has got high attrition rates there. Legends, Cam, Knowlesy, Markey and Boxer out of qualify. Both Williams is into the top 10. That's a horror show for the Aston Martin team. Lights is in the Aston Martin, but it's not eligible to score points for the Aston Martin. Both Haases are through. Indigo is through as well. Great performance from Indigo. Both Mercedes are through then, because also Indigo's teammate Immortal is through as well then. As Troy will go for a number 2 and miss qualifying qualifying run. That's as much as I say that. But of course, it is quite important not to hold it in, as it could be detrimental to your bowel movements. Legends down in 15th, Carmen in 14th, Nolsey 13th, Markey 12th, and Boxstyle 11th. Through the qualifying three, then these are our stars for qualifying three: Swift, Troy, Kaz, Immortal, Menace, Brabbit, Indigo, Lights, Kaz, and Chappers through into qualifying. Whee! Man, I'm just not used to. Man, I'm just not what I used to be. Boxstyle saying, I'm very disappointed. Boxstyle is, of course, the thing with Boxstyle is he had such a high peak and such a high. Well, no, it wasn't even a high peak, was it? He had such a high average in terms of positions that he finished in ALR. Remember, up until this season, Boxstyle finished either first or second in the championship. There, he's one driver that is an uncrowned champion. He's very much a Sterling Moss of ALR, is Boxstyle, isn't he? A driver that should have been champion, but currently isn't there. He's a lost champion at the moment, Boxstyle is there. However, I have no doubt in my mind that Boxstyle will get back to his best and will be challenging for the championship there. I certainly feel that. Of course, I'm trying to think of actually who other drivers that potentially should have been a champion in F1 but wasn't. Answer on the postcard, please. Jorge Martin then is the MotoGP champion, and of course, it's in Barcelona today. Really cool stuff indeed. And now as we got the Ferrari of Menace out, we got both Ferraris in qualifying free. Carl's then very unlucky. There's a lot of drivers. Carl's similar to Toy Coin, I feel, for this season, and he's had the pace, but in a race trim, he's always had something that goes a little awry, doesn't it? And I do feel that Toy Coin has probably also had issues there with the and who's that off the circuit in the background? Goodness gracious me. I think that's Young Lights doing. Oh, and Lights is he's damaged the car. I think Lights has done his best past the Maldonado impression there, and I think he must have been looking down at his steering wheel, and unfortunately it's gone into the wall and damaged his car. Hopefully these are not fresh tyres there for Lights, but that's not ideal, is it? But luckily for Lights, and he cannot outdo Lance Stroll's misdemeanor in which is one way of putting it, Brazil, where he got himself beached into the gravel. Which wasn't Lance Stroll's finest moment, was of his Formula 1 career for Lance Stroll. But there we go. I know that a lot of people are not fond of the young Canadian. Out of the final turn, yeah, comes Menace. Across the line comes out. I'm really interested to see what if Lance Stroll still stays in that Aston Martin when Adrian Newey really gets on board fully with the Aston Martin team. Because it's going to be similar to Sergio Perez, isn't it? Of course, I'm getting ahead of myself. Of course, I know Adrian Newey is only one man, but goodness me, he's got a good legacy at F1. But if, and is it when or is it if Aston Martin start to become a major player in Formula 1 with potentially going for Grand Prix wins and maybe even Constructors and Drivers Championship wins as well, is it going to be similar to Sergio Perez, where of course our second driver has potentially cost Red Bull the Constructors Championship this season then? But are we being a bit harsh on Sergio Perez is my question, because I do think that Max Verstappen is just a once-in-a-lifetime talent now. I really do. I put him in the same bracket as like the Lewis Hamiltons and Michael Schumachers of this world. He's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? And I do think that only a special driver, the likes of him, the likes of Fernando Alonso, can really drive around the issues of that Red Bull. So maybe we're being a bit too harsh on Sergio Perez, potentially. We are in Mexico, aren't we? And to be honest, I do want to get out safely from Mexico as well. So that could be one of the reasons why I'm being nice to Sergio tonight. Across the line there goes Menace going for pole position out on a 13-8 there. Menace there calls 5 pole positions of his career, but has only got 1 win to show for it in that Ferrari. He wants more wins there. Kaz has gone second fast on a 14-5. Aston Martin is coming to the pit. So is a Mercedes as well, of course. I'm surprised to see that Mercedes in the pit lane. Not surprised to see the Aston Martin after damage on his opening lap there. Kez has gone into first position and pole position there. Sam Swift Ninja is horrified with his pole position stats there. But as we mentioned, the early form of Emerson, remember, didn't get many pole positions. Same with Grant either, and those two are double world champions. And Kui going to be putting Sam Swift Ninja into that bracket as well, unless something very untoward happens at the end of this championship. And the Immortal's gone faster on a 13.535 for the Mercedes driver. Of course, Immortal 4 pole positions already this season, going for his 5th tonight, and he's already got 10 pole positions down, so very high up in the pole position standings. Remember, we did a... as Brabant just started out, we did a lot of drivers asking about who's got the most pole position. I think it was Kiki who asked about the most pole position in ALR, and Kiki's got the most at the moment with 29. But that is across gold, silver, bronze, cobalt, 100%, Formula 2, and all that kind of jazz. And Chapper says, looks like he's steering a shopping trolley out of the Nigel Mansell turn, cross the line to go 6 faster than the Williams car. Brabant on circuit as well, but he's invalidated there. Serious Mushroom, I just read that Brabant is on fire tonight there. He's looking strong. Brabant has got some pace tonight, but sadly Mushroom said it when Brabant had a track violation there. So sadly for Brabant, Mushroom was complimenting him. Someone turned his lights off. Serious saying, goodness gracious me, Mushroom, you're on fire tonight. Member of OMG then ... I'm not sure what member is is shocked by. Perhaps might be shocked by me saying that maybe Sergio Perez is not as bad as what we make out to be. Now, there's a lot of rumours actually that Sergio Perez will be in that Red Bull for 2025, which personally it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, would he be any better than Liam Lawson or Tsunoda? I feel sorry for Tsunoda because I do think Tsunoda's drove pretty well, and if you've measured him against, you can only measure him against his teammates, and he did a pretty good job against Gasly in Gasly's final season. Troy across the line had to go second fastest there, just over a 10th of a second away from Immortal, which is the benchmark at the moment in this qualifying session 6 minutes ago. Here we haven't got long left in this qualifying session. Brabant is going for another bite of the cherry now, but he's only got 54% battery there, Brabant has there. I do feel that's going to hamper him there coming into the final stage of this lap there. Immortal pole position for the 5th time this season, for the 11th time of his career, in gold that is. Troy alongside him on row 1. Both Haas drivers are looking phenomenal. For our 4th position is Menace, with Sam Swift down in 5th position, Kazler in 6th, and both Ferraris looking strong as well. Chappers in 7th. Chappers, that wasn't his best effort there as we sit at the Nigel Mansell turn there. Back in, trying to overtake the front. Brabant, Lights and Indigo's not set times just yet. Then 5.5 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Lights these times. These times, like to say, with a crying emoji. Kiki is a try-hard. Serious Motion was saying, purple in sector 2 for Brabant. Incredible stuff indeed there. Oh, look at that. Light Chappers then. The final sector, the tyres can just not hang on, can they? The cars are very much they're very much like Bronco Bulls, isn't it, in the final sector? Brabant across the line, and still he's done a 14.4. That's incredible time for Brabant, even though that car was very unstable at the end there. Indigo out on circuit now, and what can Indigo do? His teammate is currently past him, and can Indigo? I think Indigo's never had a pole position in his career of ALR. And I tell a lie, he does have a pole position. Put me to sleep. Goodness gracious me, that's shocking stuff indeed. But Indigo out on circuit at the moment, 4 3/4 minutes to go. Oh, excuse me. It's going to get a bit sweaty in this poof on. It's going to get very sweaty in the cars as well. As Indigo is now just getting himself rolling. And as I mentioned there, Indigo has had a pole position in his career in ALR Gold. Then can he get a second pole position here tonight? Then his teammate Immortal, who's got 10 pole positions of his career, can he make an 11th pole position here tonight? He's currently in the box seats for pole position. In pole position there, but at the moment there, he's going to have 9 other drivers there, very much snapping at his heels. The Ferrari of Kaz is out of the pit lane now. Here comes Immortal. Let's go on board with Indigo now. It's Indigo, not Immortal, Sean there. Look at how much track the Indigo's off there. It's incredible, isn't it? Every driver there maximising all the limit of track, and then some there to go down into turn 1 there, locking up the inside tyre. It's basically standard on this game, isn't there? And I'm going to be honest, I'm not looking forward to turn 1 for these drivers there, because they're probably going to struggle to see for the lock-up tyre smoke there. They call second DRS of the circuit now, between turn 3 and 4 into the mini stadium section now. Of course, these corners are very much point and squirt now rather than flowing when we had this circuit back in the early 90s, of 92 and 91 and maybe 1990, and now accelerates away. Of course, these S's are very similar still, albeit I think they're probably a bit quicker actually compared to the old circuit, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn now. So third and final DRS zone coming up now. Indigo's used a lot of deployment here, and goodness me, and he's he's using all the track of them, so they're throws it in. He's purple in the second sector, into the stadium sector now as well. Not the finest piece of racetrack in the world, but my goodness me, the atmosphere in there is electric. What about Indigo's time then? He's done a great bit of harvesting. Final sector, that's third fastest for Indigo. 2/10 of a second away from his teammate, and he's on the second row of the grid. Kaz is now going into turn one there. Look at the amount of battery then that Kaz has got left in that Ferrari. Incredible how much they use that. Get in, you pesty wabbit, says Elmer Fudd in the comment section there. And we've got, who else? Young Lights out on the pit lane now as well. 2.5 minutes ago in this qualifying session now. This is going to get very fruity indeed there. Into the mini stadium sector then. Before they accelerate well. It's an Amphitheatre down there. Amphitheatre? Is that right? No, I'm not saying that wrong. But whatever the case may be, Kaz are tackling left, right. I'm leading with Kaz here. I'm leading with him. I need to stop it. Stabilise yourself, Sean. To the second sector. What is the 7/10 of a second there for Kaz? My word, that is trouble in pole position here. Where is Kaz? Oh, looking at the inside front tyre then. Now then, as we come out of the same sector as well, into the Nigel Mansell turn there. Follow what has Kaz got under his left foot here, accelerates away, and Kaz is second on the grid by 0.04 of a second for the Ferrari. Wow. Absolutely incredible there for Kaz. And I don't think Kaz ever had a pole position before, but he's always quick in qualifying trim, isn't he? Another driver that's always quick in qualifying trim is Young Lights as well. Young Lights then, who has had 2 pole positions in his career, but I think it was back in season 5 or 4 of ALR. It's been a very long time since the last time Lights was on pole position for a Grand Prix. Out of the stadium sector as well for Young Lights, a Grand Prix winner. A Grand Prix winner then, of course, as well. Young Lights was at out the final turn, and Lights go 6 fastest. Also into the 13s here. Wow. Immortal is now starting his up there. Well, he's not starting his up. It's 92 hundredths of a second up in the second sector. Big lockup from behind there. It's one of the Williams cars then. I'm not sure if it's Chappers or Sam Swift. Out of the final turn there for Immortal. Immortal across the line there. Immortal goes faster still. And that's a good time for Immortal. He's lowered the bar even more then. If this is a game of limbo, you're going to have to break your back then if you want to be involved in this pole position tonight there. Wow, incredible. As now we've also got the second Ferrari of Menace now starting their lap that everyone is all or nothing now. Troy in third position there. Troy is also in the ballpark of this showdown here in qualifying. Indigo is invalidated that time, but Indigo was trying to go for a quicker lap. Sadly though, he has just come up a bit short. Indigo has. Who is the furthest driver around then on a lap? It is Keza. Keza's 2/10 of a second down the first sector time. It's a difficult first sector for Keza. What about the second sector now? Keza's 70. He's matched the second sector, but I feel it's the first sector which has really hurt Keza sadly in this one. Into the stadium sector we go then. As we're on board with Keza now then. Never a pole position for Keza then. Out of the final turn now. And what can Keza do? Can he improve? He's improved by... No, he hasn't. It's not improved. Lights has finished this lap. Sam Swift Ninja, 0.4 of a second improvement, and Sam Swift goes 6th fastest in the Williams car. Sam Swift then on row 3 then, but of course over the season it has not deterred him too much, and Chappers right behind his teammate, matches his teammate as well. Great time for Chappers. Bravo on the final turn. Bravo is in 8th position, and Menace Max is just about it. No, he hasn't. And Menace Max is 10th position. Immortal currently on pole position. What can Troy do? Can Troy improve? No, it is Immortal on pole position for the 11th time of his career, for the 5th time this season. What an end to qualifying, but Immortal was untouchable today. What a magnificent result that was for Immortal, and for the Mercedes team as well. Oh, that's incredible. It's his 6th pole position this season. And can Immortal now get a Grand Prix win? He's only got 1 Grand Prix win of his career, Immortal has there. Can he now get a Grand Prix win this season and get a 2nd Grand Prix win of his career as well? Fantastic 70. 10th and a half improvement there. A gap, I should say, in front of Kaz is in 2nd position. Start qualifying, Immortal, Kaz, or Troy, or Indigo. I have no idea. It's been great qualifying for all those drivers. Right, I'm AFK in BRB.
Tonight, The reigning champion fights for second crown.
Out on to something it's the pole position there by 3/10 a second. Mercy is the only time that the young does get to 37 slide. Minutes. 5 inches of his career. He parks the car fearlessly, but he comes out of the front turn, and he comes out of the front turn, and Samson Ninja with just the last lap of the last corner wins the Italian Grand Prix. Samson Ninja taking his 8th Grand Prix win of his career, of his season there. And the same amount of wins as Lucas Percy takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship there. He has certainly got into beast mode. Most likely he's trying to win a Grand Prix this season. And he has done it. And Menace Max wins his first ever Grand Prix. He wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Fantastic performance there for Menace.
Welcome back, everyone. As a serious Russian man, we're just on board with Immortal then. Kian saying then, as I said, top 3 in qualifying, P5 or 6 in the race for Immortal. Hopefully Immortal can get a second Grand Prix of his career. Pole position on the medium tires. Kaz has gone hard, but that's going to be a difficult run down to turn 1 there for Kaz. Troy in 3rd position. Can Troy get his first win of the season? 4th position is Indigo. Can Indigo there get a first win of the season as well and get his second win of his career? Keza in 5th position there. 6 is Sam Swift Ninja, potentially be crowned champion here tonight. Champions in 8th position with Brabbit in 9th there, all on medium tyres. Lights in 10th position on the hard tyres. Like Kaz, it's going to be difficult down to turn 1. Menace in 11th position. Box has had issues on his opening lap here. Dirt on the tyres there for the Red Bull. And Box now is also going to have difficulties going down to turn 1. Not only is he on hard tyres, he's also got some dirt on his tyres. As Toby Maguire was saying, I'd go throw dirt in your eye. That's maybe what Box now was doing. Markey on hard tyres. Medium tyres for Nosey in 13th. Cam on mediums with Legends in 15th on mediums. Peas, Equals, Coop, Asen Soup, Delando and Lewis Riley all on the medium compound, no, all on the hard compounded tyres. And the formation lap is over. The red lights will begin to come on one at a time. And when they go out, we'll be racing in Mexico. 5, action here in Mexico. It's lights out and it's go, go, go. And Immortal gets away nicely and Kaz slots in right behind there because he wants to get a slipstream there. Usually pole position is detriment there down into 10-1 there. And Immortal still leads there. One of them says on the inside then of Indigo then 3 into 1 does not go, but they've got through. There's debris cover of some of the cars. As Kaz is fighting with Troy here. That's a Williams off. And who is that? That's Samson Ninja into the wall. Samson Ninja's into the wall to VSC. And Samson Ninja, the championship leader, the driver that could potentially crown the championship today, has gone into the wall. And Williams are in Samson Ninja is in major peril here. Goodness gracious me. That's not ideal at all, is it? Oh dear. And as we've got a VSC at the moment, then there's no full safety car. Sam Swift Ninja's now going to have to go into the pits there, throw on a new set of tyres, and is going to have to then make its way through the field. And of course, as we just take a look at the big winners and shakers, Cam at 3 positions there. Good result for Cam and Lights at 3 positions. Well, I do not know what happened. Who collected Sam Swift? Is there any other drivers with damage out there? We'll have to find out then at the end of this one. Then Pole is terrible here. Let him take the win, Kian, says MHD. Of course, can Immortal do it then? VSC is still there as I clean up the debris from Sam Swift's car. But Sam Swift is off there, and it is going to be a very difficult very difficult race from here on in. DRS been enabled. No drive-through penalties there. That's good stuff indeed there. Sam Swift is into the pits. No one else into the pits there. Sam Swift has got a difficult race now here, but I know that Sam Swift has got some amazing race pace here. As who's that? Lights there is on the outside of Kez there. Great manoeuvre there from it, Young Lights, and the Aston Martin. Up in the fifth position now, Lights is there. As Lights, no time like the present there for Young Lights. He's flying through the field. Here comes Kez as Kez is having a sniff, but is he going for it? He has a look. Oh, goodness me, as Lights does give a bit more room there than Max Verstappen and Liam Lawson did in the real Grand Prix, but Keza is still in sixth position, and also a lot of harvesting there. Sam Swift Ninja's only out of the pits there. Look at the gap, 27 seconds already there. What a shame for Sam Swift. What was unlucky there. I'd love to know what happened there, because I just seen the Williams getting catapulted off there. It did feel like there might have been a bit of contact there between Sam Swift and another driver out there, but I'm not pointing in fingers just yet then, because if Farf was out there, I'll be certainly pointing at him there, into the stadium sector as well there, and accelerated away then. It's I'm sure Farf misses me then, and sadly he didn't race at 100% on Wednesday there, so I'm going to have to give him some jip here tonight. Troy then is now within DRS. DRS will be available now. Of course, unlike at the old rules then, of course, DRS was available at the end of on the third lap. Here comes Troy! And Troy then takes the lead. It casts up in the second position. Castles on the harder tyre, remember. Big breaking point down into turn one then. And this is going to be very much the story of the race, isn't it? Between these drivers. And the Brabham is flying past Keza. Keza once again struggling for race pace, and is now behind Brabham. And I don't think he's happy with Brabham, because he didn't leave him a car's width on the outside of the circuit. Keza, unfortunately, just struggling with race pace, and the two Mercedes going to battle. Now Mortal's gone from first to fourth, and one lap here. That's a horror show for Mortal, unfortunately then. Got a shout out for Chappers that now Sam's botched it, says Serious Russian, goodness me. Of course, I'm not going to say Sam Swift has botched it or bottled it, but certainly something untoward has happened. But Sam Swift is now going to have to go an almighty long way if there's no safety cars in this race there. Then Sam Swift there is really going to have to go some to get some points in here then. But do not count out the champion. Of course, the defending champion aiming to become a double world champion tonight. Then look at Indigo. Indigo is flying out there in a moment. Can we have can Indigo go for his second Grand Prix win? Can Cars get his first Grand Prix win of his career? Can Immortal get his second Grand Prix win of his career? Can Lights get his third Grand Prix win of his career? Can Troy get his umpteenth win of his career? Well, goodness me, and Troy there is going to be a sit-in duck here, and look at Immortal takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix, and that second Mercedes an attack of the Ferrari here as Kaz has gone wide then, and up into third position there goes Immortal, cuts across the Ferrari's nose as he goes down into turn 4. Great manoeuvre there for Immortal, but now it's Indigo take the lead there. It's going to be a bit like the Peloton if anyone watches Tour de France, which I've only ever watched it once one year for some unknown reason, as I could be bored to reach for the remote on Eurosport, and it felt like that for the over the 2 weeks then. But it might be like the Peloton there where they're going to help each other potentially then, albeit we did see a lot of assistance in the 100%, didn't we? Especially between teammates as well. Sadly, my teammate ditched me in 100%, so that was not very nice. The Serious Mushroom was it? Kaz now in her 4th position there, albeit Serious Mushroom now, of course, recovering from a very major surgery as well. So I think we should let him off that one, shouldn't we? What was Farf doing? I have no idea. Shameful behaviour from Farf. Out to the Nigel Mansell, Riley is off the circuit. That's a safety car, and that's what Sam Swift needed here. And this is now potentially going to bring him in to back into this. Whoa, we got a lot of activity. Legends and Peas are in the pits. Peas on the hard tire already, but he's coming into the pits. That is perfect for Sam Swift then. Yeah, Sam Swift still got to overtake 18 cars or so, doesn't he? He still potentially could win this one. Now is Peas into the pits. Legends on new tires, Peas on new tires, Coop on new tires as well. Sam Swift there, he might be able to go back to the medium tires and potentially go on his original strategy here. Maybe. Farf didn't appreciate my my comment on the formation lap there. Well said, Farf, and Serious Mushroom also not appreciative of my derogatory comments in this box here tonight on a Sunday. Lap 5 out of 38 here. Goodness gracious me. I've got to say, we've got a lot of viewers tonight. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Absolutely appreciate it. Of 29 to 30 viewers, and maybe little numbers for a lot of other YouTubers out there, but for me personally, I am overjoyed to have you all with us in the comments box tonight. Then I got to say, I was asking if we could move ALR Gold to Monday night, so of course, mainly because Sundays, I'm not used, sometimes on Sundays, I do have the Sunday blues, and I do sound a bit groany and moany here, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe the viewers, maybe it's just a Sunday blues everyone else has as well, and they just want to see a bit of ALR action. Into the pits, and they're all into the pits here. Indigo's in, Troy is in, Immortal stays out, Carlos has stayed out as well, but they're on the harder tyre, of course. So the Mercedes car and the Mercedes mechanics go to work then. So in comes Indigo. It's a double stack. I thought that both Mercedes didn't come in there, so that's shame on me. Indigo and Immortal did come into the pits, so they're all into the pits now, and they're going on fresher tyres here. I still made you a bad setup as well, Serious Russia. To be honest, that setup in the race is absolutely beautiful. Like, we give credit where credit's due. I think those mushroom setups are actually usually pretty good, but it's a shame he keeps stealing my front wing. Out of the pits, he's got the better front wing, I swear, in McLaren. It can't be beat as slow. Mortal in 12th position, Cam in 13th. Legends there, who pitted last lap, and Legends actually jumped a few drivers here. Into the pits comes Coop, adds in the soup then. Sam Swift Ninja then is staying on these hard tyres. That's a nose cone change for Coop. So I wonder if Coop was involved in the shenanigans there at the back of the field with himself and Lewis Riley, who is out of this Grand Prix, and now then he's coming out of the pit lane now. So safety car, Bertman Landers out at the moment. Then the top 9 have not stopped. Let's go through the strategies and all that kind of malarkey. The cars on the hard tyres, lights on the hard tyres as well. Bravitt on the medium with Keza and Chappers on medium as well. Hard tyres for Boxtal and Markey. Medium for Menace. Hard tyres for Delando. Then after that, everyone else has been in the pits and got a new set of boots. They are Indigo, who was leading this race there, but is now in the pack. Troy in 11th position there, hard tyres. Immortal in 12th, hard tyres. Cam in 13th there on hard tyres, and then it's Legends on medium tyres, and Knowlesy also on the hard tyres as well. Peas on the medium with... what am I talking about? I have no idea. Where am I? Peas on the medium tyres and Vekars on medium as well. Sam Swift on the hard tyres and Coop as in soup on the medium. Riley, the only retirement out of this race so far. As it stands, Sam Swift Ninja will be crowned champion because Menace needs to get the points below 104. The gap at the moment between Menace and Sam Swift is 117. So basically, without Sam Swift scoring, Menace Max basically needs. Sorry, Menace. I'm still living in the in yesteryear. Menace basically needs to be 4th with fastest lap or 3rd or above tonight. That is his minimum requirements here tonight there for Menace. And then that's when it gets a bit horror for me, because then I've got to start to do maths, and that is never ideal. So I'm going to have to get the old spreadsheet out, I think, in a minute, and really start to get me fingers and toes out as well. Luckily, I am from the forest, so I have got 11 toes and 11 fingers as we're into the mini stadium section. We've got VSC and a virtual safety car here, and we have also had a safety car at Burt Mylander, which we're watching now. So a drama already on the opening couple of laps here then in Mexico City, and I'm expecting something similar in silver and in gold, silver and in bronze then over the next couple of days or so. So the safety car, I think, is going to be very busy in this Grand Prix. There's a lot of runoff here, but it is still quite easy to have a mammoth accident, as unfortunately Riley has had in the stadium sector. Safety cars in the end like that. Serious Russia, will they have to pit again then, as he's got his hands over his eyes and I think the mediums will surely have to pit again, won't they? Do you reckon the hard tyres felt like they can go for two race distances on Wednesday, so potentially they could do the same here. But then again, I probably wasn't going quick enough to wear them out. So take that with a pinch of salt. We're going to be growing race again. This is probably when the hardest safety car restarts in that Grand Prix, along with Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan's probably the highest, and then this is probably the second. We're the long drag down to turn 1. Burt Mylander has released them. We're going racing. It's green for go here in Mexico.
And talking of green, it is the green mean fighter machine of lights, and it's Dooney, who's got a bit of a solution there for the Ferrari. And Kaz is going to have to get defensive here. He's got to get his elbows out, because here comes Lights, and no DRS yet. DRS will be available at the end of this lap. Lights is going for it. He's having a look down turn one there, and they just about avoid contact. A lot of sparks, that damage. No, it's okay. Lights is trying to wrestle that machine there in the Aston Martin, but they've all got through safe and sound here. Sam Swift Ninja currently in 18th position mode. We're giving on a contact between the front two as Lights trying to dive down the inside of turn 4 on board of Lights as well. Kaz has never won a Grand Prix in ALR so far. We're a very long way away from even thinking about Grand Prix wins like kind of Jazz just yet. However, Kaz leads with Lights in second position. The highest driver that has pitted is Indigo. He's made no ground at the moment. Pease has got a 3-second penalty. That is going to be detriment to his progress here tonight, I feel. As long as they're in a late safety car, which is what I looked into back in my bronze season of season 3, I got my second position, which I still hang that on my fridge. Then of course, I think that might hurt Pease. But however, there's a long way to go in this race still. Out to the Nigel Mansell curb once again. Then now DRS is available, and there is Lights, and everyone's got DRS all the way down to 12th position. Immortal, and then it is Cam who's out of DRS range, and that second group of cars, that everyone else got DRS behind him as well. Legend has got past Cam. Then as we go down to turn 1 there, it's all status quo at the moment there. There's a very Menace Max there trying to get through. That's a Mercedes there diving down the inside to Lando, and my goodness me, was that a day late and a dollar short there? Well, whatever the case may be, Indigo is through, passes to Lando, and now it's Troy's turn as well. Marquis, nope, it is Marquis lost out to Menace. Oh my word! Then, and Troy has also got past Delando as well into turn 10. Then as of course turn 1 and turn 10, turn 4 and turn 1 is the biggest opportunity for overtaking around here. You can probably overtake into the stadium sector, but it can be very difficult indeed. Indigo is going to win this series. What should I say? Now, Indigo is flying out there. I think he loves the American leg of the Formula 1 calendar. Doesn't he? Incredible stuff indeed there. As Mortal, look at these two there. They're starting to slow the cars down. As I think Mortal's got past Delando as well. Delando is struggling out there. I thought that, whoa, is that Ferrari there? Goodness me, great car control from Kaz there. But my word there, very similar to Leclerc back in the real F1 race around here. But unlike Leclerc, Kaz kept it on the circuit, but Lights takes the lead, but here comes Brabham now, and now we got 3 of Bresco. No, it's 2 of Bresco down towards turn 1 there. As Lights cuts across and up into the lead of the Grand Prix. Indigo's through and passes Marquis. Much more straightforward overtaking. And look at the lockups down into turn 1 there. Sam Swift Ninja is now up into 16th position there on 8-lap out hard tires. There's Sam Swift with Cam in 17th. Knowlesy is struggling out there, down into 90th position. There goes Knowlesy, unfortunately. Lights still leading. Brabham is all over the gearbox now. As I mentioned before the safety car came out, it could potentially be a bit of a peloton around here, where the drivers are just going to keep swapping leads here, and they can just take it in turns leading this Grand Prix, of course, and then when it gets to I thought Cass spun there, and of course when it gets to the pit stops is when they're really going to probably put the hammer down. So we've got serious question, wondering if they need to pit again, and I'm also wondering that as well, but I do think the hard tire should get to the end. However though, will they get to the end in a decent condition is the question that is on my mind then. At the moment though, as Menace Max needs to get into 4th position with fastest lap, or 3rd position at least to win to keep the championship alive, and that's even without Sam Swift Ninja scoring points there. Now here comes Brabham, who's I gotta say, Lights has absolutely thrown the gauntlet down. Fastest up at the moment there. 4 goes to Sam Swift Ninja. Then Boxtel's got past Chappers and up into 5th position. Now, Chappers a great season. Chappers he's been great, hasn't he? And going down there, Sam Swift Ninja is also through past Equals. Sam Swift on 9-lap out hard tires, but is making it work so far. Troy in 10th position there, all over the back of Markey, and we've got a change for the lead then, and there it is. It is Brabham, who dances on the outside, takes the lead. Brabham has never won a Grand Prix in gold either. Indigo's from the 7th now, and yellow flag is out there. What's happened? It is Delando, is it? No, there's yellow flags further forward, and what is going on? As
It's one of the McLarens. His camera's off the circuit. I completely missed that. As Menace is now in 8th position. As it is just getting more and more difficult for his championship quest to keep the championship alive. As just having a look down into the stadium sector, Brabbit leads on board now with Brabbit and having on board with Lights, having a sniff of the ball. Lovely shot from the nose cone. Goodness gracious me! We're almost inside the diffuser of Young Lights. Good heavens above there! Out of the Mansell turn at once. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, umpteen cars in this DRS train. Everyone is in DRS range now of each other, apart from the gaps near the back of the field. Indigo's up in 6th position here in this race. Contact between, and Lights takes the lead. Kaz is now, no, he's now, more contact. Debris, Kaz is off the circuit. Kaz has got damage, and that is major problem there. Oh dear, that is not looking ideal at all. Then Nosey doesn't have to. Whoops, I've almost banned Serious Russian there. Nosey doesn't have to pit. That's smart thinking. Don't forget, it's 50%. It's half the tyre life. Oh, is it not? Is it not percentage-wise? Well, you learn something new every day, because I thought that was percentage-wise. Goodness me. Shocking stuff indeed, that. Now we got Indigo. Of course it wouldn't. This Indigo in 8th position now. I thought Indigo was up to 7th. But Troy is through. So Troy is now past Indigo. And there he is. He's the leading car. As Kez has got a 3-second penalty. I think that Kez is going to be quite frustrated with how that all went about into turn 1. Up the inside goes Menace. Is now in 5th position there. Yellow flag is gone for him for Keza, who I think has a lot of frustration in that Haas car then, as he was involved in. Indigo's off the circuit. I think that he's ghosted at the moment. It's getting very precarious, and now Sam Swift is inside Indigo. Good heavens above, out of the Nigel Mansell turn, and Sam Swift is currently in 13th position at the moment, as Keza has got a 10-second penalty, and Keza out of the race. I think that's frustration for Keza, as Champions is back through. There is a Mortal now for 9th position as well. Goodness me, there's contact there going down into turn 1, and the Red Bull and the RB is going side by side. So that's 2 retirements in this one. Pease is having a look at legends here. Indigo is showing the bird to someone. I think that was Sam Shift Ninja, was it potentially? Bravo is taking the lead in this one as we go down into turn 4. Oh my word! And Indigo is up the inside. Sam's on the inside here. Oh, there's more contact here. Wow, incredible racing indeed. Then. Absolutely incredible racing there, but not so much down into turn 1, as it was getting very frosty on the last lap of the lap before, which unfortunately has resulted in Keza out of the Grand Prix. Brabbit still leads. Yellow flag flashing at me. I was trying to cough there, but I don't think my mute button's working. That's not good. Right, what more? Sorry, it's for I say it's for the Haas car, the race and Callum all the way down the order now. And once again, Indigo and Sam Swift. For goodness gracious me, do they owe each other money here? There's a bit of fisticuffs here between the two cars. Out of the Nigel Mansell turn here, and Sam Swift they're fighting. And who's in the pits? Champions in the pits. He's had enough of this shenanigans. Champions into the pits, throwing on the hard tires now. And who's that? That's a RB. Whoa! That's Equal steaming through. I don't know who to look at. But then we've got 2 RBs that get very close to each other. Sam Swift is down to 12th position. My goodness gracious me. A bit of decorum, gentlemen. Brabbit has lost the lead. Lights leads with Brabbit in 2nd position, but Brabbit's on the medium tyres. Mortal has now got past Markey. Markey on the inside though, but Mortal has the inside line then for turn 5 and into turn 6. Oh, again, another unlucky then member up is saying that Keza gets the sticky end every week then. Those cases are similar to Toy Coin as well. 2 drivers who I thought was going to be a breakout stars in this Grand Prix this season. However, that's not been the case. Even though there's damage to Kaz's car, he's still keeping up quite nicely actually here. I'm wondering if the Ferrari team are even going to think about changing that front nose cone on Kaz, because I feel that Kaz is going to be thinking, no, definitely not. Don't change that front nose cone. There's a lot of damage on that Ferrari, but it's all fine at the moment there for Kaz. Across the line they come then. Young Lights is now going to have to get defensive here. Into the pits is Menace. Menace, remember, he needs to finish at least 4 above. I feel that, to be honest, I think that Menace is going to be aiming for a bit higher than 4th, and Brabbit retakes the lead then on lap 15 out of 36 here. We're going to half distance now. The highest driver that is pitted is Troy, with Immortal right behind him in 6th position. Then when they got a gap, then it's Market, and Indigo's in a de facto 3rd when they all start to sort themselves out. But still remember that they pitted under the safety car. They got to go an awfully long way on these hard tyres, and all the medium tyres, which some drivers put on as well. Brabham still leads. Lights, followed by Kaz, followed by Boxo. Snook is winning to full position. Fantastic. There's Troy, with a Multo, followed by Marquis as well then. And then we got Peas, who is now fighting with Legends. Now Peas is through and under 10 position. Legend down into 11th, and Legends and Peas on the same tyre life, as you can see on the left-hand side tower. Red Bull and the Red Bull of Legends are still in the, still technically in the top 10. And then look at this, and this is going to breeze past. Both these two drivers have lost DRS from Sam Swift, who is now all over the back. Equa's got a 3-second penalty. And I think that's his second 3-second penalty is of the race. No, I think that might be his first, actually. We'll take a look at that in a minute then. Can't be bored of this anymore. I see it, Mushroom. It's every week there, says Kaza. Into the pits there comes Brabbit. Sadly, Kaza, we saw as well. Of course, as I mentioned, then Kez and Toy Coin have been very unlucky this season. Sam Swift has got past Indigo, moving south up into 7th position. Indigo down to 8th position there. And now we've got Equals fighting with Knowlesy, with and now Pease has now lost out to his teammate Equals as well here. My goodness gracious me, that Billy Musical Chair said. First I'll pit and quit. I can't be bothered anymore, says Kez. That's Kez's only third DNF of his career in ALR. So a lot of frustration there for Keza. A lot of frustration there for Keza, and to be honest, Keza was in the wrong place at the wrong time there. It was all the action was happening in front of him, and it just and Keza was just kind of like dragged into it, really, wasn't he? Unfortunately, on board with Marquis then, who is currently in 6th position now. Marquis, who I think he hasn't pitted yet, has he? Marquis hasn't. Then nor is Boxtel. Troy and Immortal have pitted, and it's now onto the back of the top 2. I'm wondering what the top 2 are going to do here, because they're now technically a pit stop behind. They are probably going to go until at least till lap 20, I think. And how long is those medium tyres going to last for? That's what they got to calculate now. And Karas, with the wing damage on that Ferrari, part of course, it was a part of the Keza incident, sadly, or was a part of the incident that Keza was involved in. Immortals back up into 3rd position, and we go back down into turn 1. They're getting very fruity here. Sam Swift and Immortal are still fighting for position here. Goodness gracious me. And then we've got Delando fighting with Coop as in Super number 2 11th position there. There's a lot of different strategies out there. Menace is now in the 15th. Chapper's in 16th. Peace cut out of the pits as well. Lights there, who is leading this race. Only one safety car so far. I think that some drivers will be hoping for another safety car in this race. Maybe the front 2 might be forgot, fingers crossed as well. Kezel's race always gets ruined by other drivers every week, with the resulting driver not even getting a penalty. This game is washed. Hashtag justice for Kezel, says George Carter. Hashtag justice for Kezel, says Serious Mushroom as well. Reminds me of hashtag justice for Danger Times as well, way back yesteryear as well, as there's all kinds of stuff going around about that. Sadly, I do feel that we've lost a lot of drivers that have been a part of Grand Prix racing for quite a number of years now this season, and potentially down to the game, potentially down to racing. I would say it's more down to the game than maybe racing as well. As here comes Immortal and getting past Kaz, I should say, Kaz out of the race, sadly, and he's going for a double one, and Immortal takes the lead, but Lightsail's not giving this one up, is he? Therefore, he's going to give him the pinch on the outside of free contact. Lights is off the circuit. Immortal takes the lead. Oh, and they're going to come to blows out. Troy almost getting caught up there. And Troy is through and up into 3rd position now. Then Troy is going to be brewing a huge sigh of relief there, because that was getting very fruity indeed. On the outside goes Indigo now, getting past there. Lights has got a 3-second penalty. Look at the tyre smoke. Boxtel up the inside, but Boxtel is on older tyres, and sadly they're not got a match there for Indigo's new tyres. They're 5 laps younger, and that is a very long way in this way in this race there. Sam Swift Ninja at the moment there is a champion in waiting there for Sam Swift, the first driver to ever become double world champion in ALR on 2 different games of F1 23 and F1 24, and will be the 3rd ever double world champion in ALR history, which will be a fantastic achievement for Sam Swift. Into the pits comes Boxtel back at the front then, and Kaz is now good, cannot defend from Troy, who's now into 2nd position there. There goes Troy. The question I got is the drivers that did it. No,
no, we'll come back to that question in a minute because Troy takes the lead into turn one there, cuts across Immortal. Oh, was there contact between Immortal and the Ferrari? Potentially. So we got Boxer and Equals into the pit set. But now the front two leading this race have pitted. Do not need to pit again in this one. Do not need to pit again in this one there, so they can now start to put their heads down and get on in the race there. So, Indigo is now in 5th position there. Marky is in 6th. I think Indigo's going to be looking over shoulder because look at Nolsey up in 8th position there. Very much getting the job done. Sam Swift Ninja has also technically done 2 tyre stops. Used 2 types of tyres of the medium and the hard tyres. However, for Sam Swift there, he's basically done a whole Grand Prix on those hard tyres. Surely he can't get to the end from there. However, I have been wrong before. I could be wrong again on this instance as well. And then we got Delando in 9th position. Koopas in super 10th with Cam 11th. Then we have the drivers. As there's problems for the McLaren, and off the race goes Delando. Is that going to be a safety car or a VSC, a virtual safety car? But no, he comes back on the track now. Oh, goodness me, and the Ferrari almost getting wiped out for Delando there. And sadly for Delando, issues for the McLaren team now. Sam Swift has got past Markey. Just watching Cam here as well. So the drivers that didn't pit on the safety car is the first driver in that gaggle of cars is Bravitt. 6 seconds adrift at the moment, Bravitt is. And has he got enough time with 16 laps to go to hunt down the drivers that have pitted on the first safety car and gain up the time that they lost? And Cam up into 8th position now with Coop as in soup there on the Oda medium tyres in the Aston Martin. As Delando out of the race, that's 3 retirements already. That's 3 retirements in this race. Delando probably very fed up with some of with today, unfortunately, in the Mexican Grand Prix, and that's a shame there for Delando as. Delando was going for an alternate strategy. Look at this. This is interesting. So Kaz and Light said both drivers and Sam Swift Ninja as well have not pitted, but they are keeping up with Immortal and Troy. And getting out that DRS train there is going to be a crucial part of this Grand Prix. Indigo 2 weeks in a row now. It is absolutely cooking. It is absolutely firing on all cylinders. Coop there as what's. It's a safety car as Cam is having issues, and the second McLaren in the same place as his teammate has had issues, and that safety car has really thrown a curveball in this race now. What are the drivers going to do that? This is a good opportunity now. Yes, they're all in the pits, and all the drivers are even the pit as well are coming into the pits now. And my goodness gracious me, but they're the 2 Mercedes. This is going to hurt Indigo. Look, Indigo is in the pits now, but he probably got held up quite badly here. But luckily, I think there was a decent gap. Menace has stayed out. Who else stayed out there? Bravitt has stayed out as well. Menace and Bravitt have both stayed out. They pitted earlier on. Dare I say Bravitt, Serious Russia said. Sadly, as soon as Serious Russia said that, we had a safety car. So there you go. Serious Russia is the unlucky commentator for tonight, and for the other 1,000 streams that he is commented in as well. Sadly for Bravitt, Serious Russia has thrown his curse on him tonight there. Where am I in terms of the comments? As Kian there is, I'm not sure if he's convinced about something there. It's probably something I said. We've also got, don't worry, Kian, Malta will still drop 5 places. Oh, I see. Yes, well, sadly, that comment was about 5 minutes ago, which is before this safety car came out. And, sadly for Immortal, yes, he pitted now, and the advantage that he did have has now been wiped off, hasn't it? But Indigo has still got a chance of this Grand Prix win. It's not over yet. Indigo, but Immortal has gone onto the harder tyre. Whilst Light's gone onto the medium tyre. I tried to work that out then. What is Immortal? Was he on the hard tyre anyway? I can't remember now. Goodness me, I should probably rewind the stream back and have a look then. I'm back from dinner and I'm really surprised. Go for dessert. It will be normal again then. Wow, new hard tyres for Immortal, says Kian. I'm glad that Kian has said that because I was a bit confused. There's yes, so Immortal on new hard tyres. Is that going to be the story of this race now? You're thinking, Kian? And I have no idea, to be fair. I don't know what I'm doing in this commentary box sometimes, but I must say. That is interesting. Everyone else on the new medium tyre then, apart from Immortal. I do think the medium tyre should get to the end easily from here, shouldn't it? Or am I completely wrong that as well?
I did say after the safety car, Serious was saying laugh out loud then. Immortal hard, why? Says member up. That's what I was thinking as well. I thought the medium tire should get to the end from here on it. That's what I'm thinking then. Member up, maybe no medium, Serious was saying then. So yes, because you can choose your tires before you get into the lobby. And I'm wondering if Immortal's gone for more of the harder selection of tires then. We don't really talk about that aspect in Grand Prix racing these days, do we? But yes, Immortal might have gone for a the harder choice of tires, which means one less soft tire or a couple less soft tires, which will then mean that Immortal has a fresh hard tire available, and this could be crucial in this Grand Prix. Well, whilst we're doing all that mucking about and guessing work, let's take a look at the grid, shall we? Before we do, Immortal have the best tire now. He'll be faster after lap 30, Kian is saying. So the Kian reckons the medium tires are going to last 8 laps. Brabant leads. Second is Menace. With third is Chappers. Great drive from Chappers so far. Menace is back into championship winning position. I think Sam Swift will still win it because he's still getting 6 points here. Troy in 4th position there. Immortal is in 5th position for the Mercedes team. Safety car. Oh goodness me, I've waited too late. But Immortal's going to have troubles there because he's on the harder tire. They're going to be more difficult to fire up. Kaz in 6th position. Did he Kaz? Has Kaz changed his nose cone? Hopefully we'll find out. But Immortal is in front of us here. No, he is not interested for Ferrari, but it didn't look like he was causing many issues. Sam Swift 7, Lights 8, Markium 9, 10th is Nolsey, I've just spluttered everywhere. 11th is Indigo, 12th is Equals, with Coupe 13th, Legends on the old hard tyres here, with Cam 15th, 60Ps, and Bogstar down second position. We're green for goal here. Brabant leads, second is Menace, Chappers in third, Troy in 4th position, followed by Immortal, look at all the dust, followed by Immortal, Car, Swift, Lights, Markey, and Nolsey completes the top 10 here. No DRS yet then, as we go down into turn 1 then, and here comes Troy again then, and now he is through and up in third position there. And he has got through then. A big old lock up there from Menace. How long can Menace and Brabant hold on the new shod medium tyre runners of Troy and Co then? Well, Immortal has actually done a really good job there, because I thought he might have struggled to keep that 5th position there. However, we hadn't even completed the first lap after that safety car has gone in just yet then. Immortal might just be hard, then Serious Russian is saying, good heavens above, we're on board now with Troy and a turn 6. Go on, Chappers, Sam Bond, Serious Russian saying, oh my word, Serious Russian very much on the banter bus here tonight, and I absolutely love it there. We do love a bit of banter, don't we, especially as some of us probably on the Sunday Blues, which is after this, which will probably hit me after this race as well, but luckily I've got a sausage roll, which is waiting for me on the side. Brabant is now then, is now going to have to get really defensive and get his elbows out because he's going to have DRS, and he was harvested there, Brabant was there. That's not ideal. Then as we come out to the Nigel Mansell curve then, and down into turn 1 then, look at this, and they're already getting defensive here. Here comes Troy again then, and Troy then is going to be through past Menace. Is he? No DRS yet. No, I'm jumping the gun. Immortal is through and up in 4th position, passes Chappers then, and Troy still sticks behind there. Look at that, Troy almost had the gap of almost out of DRS range there. Not quite, but there's not many overtaking opportunities going down to turn 1 just yet, but we are expecting there to be a lot more overtaking opportunities with the DRS next time around. Brabant, Sam Swift has passed Kaz, and Sam Swift is now in the 6th position. As it stands, Sam Swift has become a double world champion now. On board with Sam Swift, his teammate just in front of us here. Is Chappers going to now let his teammate through, and is Chappers going to let his teammate through, and Sam Swift ninja then get after attack at Immortal, especially as Kian thinks that the tyres are going to start to struggle on lap 30, which is in 6 laps time, and so really make hay whilst the sun is shining out. And look at this, and it's the Williams team are changing positions there. Is that an overtake, or is that just a tactical change? I think it's a tactical change there for Chappers, goodness me, and Chappers are wrestling that car then, and that Williams car then, as Kaz and all over the gearbox of the Williams as well. I have a feeling that Chappers may struggle to defend, then going down into turn 1 then. Brabant, followed by Menace, followed by Troy, but Menace with only a Grand Prix win so far. Troy then of course has got the most Grand Prix wins out of the top 3 so far, 3 abreast. Troy takes the lead. They're going into turn 1. Where is he? He's off the screen there, but Troy cuts across going down into turn 1, and that's Immortal up into 2nd position there, and through he goes and passes that Menace as well. Crucial in this Grand Prix, and there goes Immortal then. Lights has now got past Chappers as well, and Sam Swift then just up in the 4th position, and there is Sam Swift there, and he's going for it. He's having a a look into turn at number 4 and 5. This reminds me of the Mexican Grand Prix where Hamilton had an issue with Vettel on, I think it was 2017, wasn't it? Where Lewis Hamilton had issues there and had to come back through the field, didn't he? So I think he only has to get 9th that day or 7th. Well, today, Sam Swift Ninja was a lot higher than 7th there. He is 3rd now on new medium tyre. Sam Swift Ninja was last at the beginning of the race, is now 3rd. No one can stop this man. And my goodness gracious me, Sam Swift Ninja is in the box seats now to be crowned champion of the world. A double world champion for Sam Swift Ninja. But however, I'm counting me chickens before they hatch. We have got still 10 laps to go in this race. But Sam Swift Ninja is now in front of his teammate, in front of his championship rival, Menace Max needs to outscore Sam Swift by a number of points there. Of course, if you just joined us, Percy was championship could not have been won today because if Percy was still in this championship, sadly he is not anymore. Contact between Kaz and Lights there, and Lights is around, and I think he overcorrected the car there, but the contact originally between Kaz and Lights there put him on a collision course of that spin, and unfortunately for Lights right at the back of the field, unfortunately. Now then, a Mortal in a 3rd position there. Menace is behind a Mortal. Then we've got Brabant in 5th. Kaz is now in 6th position with Marquis 7th. But Marquis 7th. Indigo in 8th position there. That safety car really hurt Indigo, didn't it? I think it hurt a lot of other drivers as well out there. Chappers in 9th position there on Oda hard tyres. And Knowlesy is on the back of Chappers in 10th position. A good result so far for Knowlesy. Equals in Cooper Lemon 12th. And Cam in 13th. Legends in 14th. Boxstyle is down in 15th. He was running quite high in this Grand Prix. P's down in 16th position there, and Lights in 17th as well. It seems the old guard of ALR has really struggled, haven't they? Because the P's and Lights are multiple Grand Prix winners. Adams box down as well, down in 15th, 16th, and 17th. Goodness gracious me! Sam Swift all over the back of Troy. No one after that. Then Immortal's already out of DRS range, and Sam Swift takes the lead at the Mexican Grand Prix. Passes Troy. Lights has got a 10-second penalty. Lights is out of the Grand Prix. Boxstar is down in 16th position. Sam Swift leads the Grand Prix with 10 laps to go in this one. Menace Max is now in the 3rd position, getting past the Mortal. Now you've got Lights, Delando, and Keza 3 pit and quits in this one there, but I do feel there's a lot of frustration as a Mortal. Indigo is now in his 7th position. Mortal and Indigo in the same team is always going to be a recipe for disaster when I'm in the comms box. So, goodness me, keep those jars separate for the next season's draw, please. I just think they're probably going to be together again next season, aren't they? Which I'm sure that Indigo and Riley's in this race, and sadly though for Riley, he was opening lap casualty here. We just got Kaz having a look, contact as Kaz are almost spinning Brabant. Who's that? Indigo diving on the inside there, and my goodness me, and now there's all kinds of chaos behind there, and I think that Brabant and Kaz might be a bit surprised about that one, and I don't think and Indigo, they're not waiting for an invitation, just diving through and up into 5th position. Here comes Brabant now. Kaz defending very late there, and caught up the Kaz there and spun the car. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, it's getting very action-packed in the midfield. Cooper up into 9th position, by the way. That's fantastic. But my word. And also that's got Brabant there, who is struggling now. Indigo is having 5th position there. Menace is currently in 3rd, but it is not enough there to keep the championship alive. Sam Swift is 2 seconds up the road now. Goodness gracious me. Troy's got a 3-second penalty. Troy there is struggling, isn't he now? And just like Kian said in the comments section, is that the hard medium tyres now starting to struggle there for 8 laps to go. On board with Menace. He's all over the gearbox of Troy. Look, the gap is already 2 seconds. Sam Swift is swiftly pulling away here. Menace is all over the gearbox now at Troy. Now is he going for a look? No, I think you should wait until turn 1. Oh, Immortal breaking very deep there into the stadium sector here. Look at this. Sam Swift is in a completely different race already, isn't it? Very much similar to Max Verstappen back in the Brazilian Grand Prix, albeit albeit it's a completely dry race. Here comes Immortal now then. Champions of Legend, still not a Troilo, as Indigo says Serious Russia. What from now, watch Immortal. No more tips for you, Kian. As I missed it. Menace ranks up in the second position, that's a problem. As who's that? Troy is down into fifth position, and Troy is having issues. Oh no, what's happened to the Super Swede? He is struggling there, and now goes Brabbit up into fifth position there. Oh dear, oh dear. And sadly, the news that's Marky who's diving through as well. Goodness gracious me! I gotta say, if you if these drivers are vultures sometimes, aren't they? This any bit of weakness on the driver in front, they're all gonna dive through here. Oh my word! Wow. And unfortunately for Troy, it's starting to unravel after such a strong race. It's all unraveling now, isn't it? Sam Swift Ninja 2.4 seconds in front of Menace, who is about 0.4 of a second in front of Immortal. Indigo could potentially get another podium in a row. Great drive from Indigo, and really, then this is two strong races in a row now for Indigo. Very much starting to get some momentum up in his championship quest in terms of getting up the order as high as possible there for Indigo. In the final stage, remember, Indigo's only raced a couple of races this year. Boxed out of the race. Is that going to be a late safety car? It is a late safety car, and into the pits comes Kaz's crash at the exit of the. Crash at the exit of the stadium sector, and there's a safety car. Then this is a late curveball now, and the drivers are quite closely grouped together here. Bogstad's our fifth retirement in this Grand Prix. It's a high attrition rate now. New wing for Kaz and new tyres. I'm wondering if he potentially should have gone to the soft tyres, or is the soft tyres then not going to be good enough for the next couple of laps potentially? But Sam Swift Ninja's lead of 2.4 seconds has been whittled down to absolutely nothing. It's going to be interesting to see who pits and who doesn't. I think Chappers might be in the pits. I think Legends and Chappers will certainly come in the pits. Peas may come into the pits as well. Is any of the ones in the top 10 going to come in the pits is my question there. Oh dear, the safety car will not be out for very long. The safety car is currently parked at the exit of turn 3. There is Byrne. Byrne's been released once again. Troy's got an extra surge from his pre-race poop there. Kian loves it. Goodness gracious. I do love a good old poop story. I do share quite a lot of them as well. Obviously not on stream, of course, because on stream now we've got to keep a bit of decorum, haven't we? So, lap 30 out of 36 here then. It's been a long old races with us, goodness gracious me. Is it? Sam Swift's in the pits! So Sam Swift has come into the pits. This is a nightmare for me, because now I've got to really start to think about the maths. And this is not ideal at all. Oh, goodness me. Oh, dear. So I'm going to... Okay, right. Sean, get yourself together. All right, here we go. So the gap is 117 points between Sam Swift and Menace. So at the moment, then, with Menace winning... of course, and so that gap will then be whittled down to... with Menace winning then, so that means that the gap will be whittled down then to... Let me get the old calculator out. So at the moment then, the gap will be 92 points then. The gap needs to get up to 104. So Sam Swift will need... Well, he's in 5th position. So Sam Swift has already got the 10 points he needs here. So Sam Swift has already got 10 points he needs then, which means the gap, he only needs to get 4th, or he only needs to get back into 4th or 3rd, and the championship is back in his hands for Sam Swift. So Sam Swift there is still very much on the cusp of winning this championship there, whatever Menace does. And then here is Sam Swift out in 5th position there. So Menace, so the drivers that didn't pit was Menace in the Indigo, Immortal and Brabbit. I feel all those drivers are going to be starting to fall down the order here. How long is this safety car going to come out then? Oh God, Sean's mass. I read that wrong then. I thought it said something else. It was an E rather than an A. But serious pressure, I don't do that thing anymore now, as after watching Breaking Bad, I've realised that that's something that I shouldn't be involved in. Some decorum, please, says Serious Pressure there. As I think that Kian loves Serious Pressure's banter. I do as well. So lap 32 out of 36 then. Sam Swift then on soft tyres, and he's going to be quicker than a hiccup now. Troy's got some penalties as well. Then driver of the day is out. Safety car. I love it. Safety car. Sam Swift, Menace and Indigo. I'll go be honest, if anyone votes for safety car... That's really tickled me. Troy, 3-second penalty for Troy, Equals, and Pease. Hats off to everyone with the lack of penalties. Fantastic stuff indeed. Really good job indeed then for all those drivers out there. So with the safety car out at the moment then, as you mentioned then, so Sam Swift Ninja will need to get into fourth position at the very least, and if he gets into fourth position, if he gets into fourth, that means that Menace could only equal the number of points that Sam Swift has equaled then. So if Sam Swift finishes fourth today and doesn't score any more points, so 348, that's the highest that Menace can get now if he wins the next couple of races then with Fastest up as well. So that's the highest that Menace Max get then. But if they do end up equal on points at the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which could be highly unlikely but never impossible, then that means that Sam Swift will still win the championship because he's got 8 wins compared to Menace's 2, 3, 4, 5 wins then if he wins the last 4 or 5 races. So so Sam Swift just needs to find one more position and he's champion of the world. So get your votes in now for your driver of the day. Safety car currently got 60% of the vote there. That's been the kind of thing it goes. Sean, if the safety car wins, your pick. Haha. So well. To be honest, I'm not sure who I'll pick, to be honest, but these last 3 laps are certainly going to be quite crucial to my pick. If the safety car does, look at this, Indigo is going for it already, and he's alongside his teammate, Mortal. Indigo's the only driver on the medium tyres as they fly past. We're going down into turn 1. It's 3 abreast and then wheel to wheel, and the 2 Mercedes are almost touching, but Indigo is now in his second position. The medium tyres warming up much better. Sam Swift Ninja is still in 5th position. If his finish is how it is down in the championship, will still be hope for grabs going into the next race in Brazil in a week's time. But no, Sam Swift Ninja is now in 4th position, and he has done it. And Brabham, then he just cannot compete. Then, oh my goodness me, it's getting very cozy there. And Sam Swift Ninja up the inside and passes the Mercedes driver as well. And we've also got Troy now and passes Brabham. Sadly, the drivers on older tyres is just going to be sitting ducks, aren't they? We've got a lot of miss there, haven't we? Goodness gracious me. But Menace leads and second Indigo. Sam Swift is now in 3rd position. Sam Swift there as Indigo cannot fight the great fight here, sadly, for Indigo. He's on the older medium tyres, and Markey, this is where it's going to get really funky. Oh, contact! Brabham diving on the inside there, and I think that's a lot of frustration for Brabham after the things that have happened to him in this race. Out of the final turner, Menace, of course, I don't think that no disrespect to Menace, but this season I don't think Menace has been truly in the championship fight there, but he's had a great first season, ALR, with 5 pole positions, with a Grand Prix win as well. But Sam Swift Ninja takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix with 3 laps to go, and now Brabham is just holding on to this battle here. But Brabham's got a 3-second penalty. I think there's going to be frustration in the Alpine's helmet. Unfortunately, that has just not been the way that he was expecting this race to run. Now the 2 Mercedes are now starting to attack Menace, and there is Sam Swift Ninja absolutely pulling away now. As I went Sam Swift without the SN. At least Indigo practically interviews himself. Says Serious Russian. Absolutely. So if Indigo does get in on the podium, then that means I can have a rest and have a drink of my monster. That 34 out of 36 here. Troy are on board with Troy now. Then can Troy catch these 3 in front then, and then get of course get a 3-second gap there. This is going to get very interesting indeed. And DRS is now going to be available at the end of this time. There's the 2 Mercedes getting very close there. There's Menace in 2nd position. In 3rd is the 2 Mercedes there. What's happened to Troy, Troy then really struggling coming out of the Nigel Mansell turn by the looks of things. DRS is available now. Here comes the Mercedes and here comes the Mortal. Mortal's having a great drive today. It's been a fantastic drive there, but look at this. It's the Ferrari's basically been sandwiched up on the Mercedes. Indigo Mortal down the inside and takes 2nd position, passes his teammate, and up in 2nd position now. But Indigo's going to try and come back. Alan, though, going down into turn 4 with Menace Max all over the gearbox. Well, there's problems for the 2nd Ferrari, and his car's off the circuit. What a drive it's been for Kaz, but he's out of the race. There's a lot of frustration, I feel, from Kaz's point of view. The soft tyres, I'm surprised that the soft tyres have just not charged through. Sam Swift Ninja breezed by everyone, but the rest of them have just struggled, haven't they? As Menace, who is on the harder tires, at 20 laps on the harder tires. But Troy seems to be the driver struggling at the moment there, as we're down to 14 runners and riders, and my goodness gracious me, it's been an absolute Barnstorm in the race. Oh, Chapman's got a 3-second penalty. That's going to be costly for himself. Getting some points on this one, I feel. Especially with Equals on getting penalties as well. And so Legends could be on course. And look at this gaggle of cars here. And the Mercedes is going to be might be happy at this then, because look at this then. As Mercedes and Menace as they're just being pulled away here. And now we're on the final lap of this Grand Prix. And through goes Markey up into 4th position there. Troy has just got no pace. Nosy is up into 4th. Nosy is up in 5th position, and my goodness me, this could be his best result of his season. Up into 5th he goes there. What a drive from Nosy. He's come out of nowhere like an RKO. Fantastic stuff there for Nosy. I know he's going to have to have DRS again then, isn't he? Indigo, who's in 3rd position there. I think he's got through the worst part of it. That McLaren locking up, and Cam trying to go through, but there's contact, and Cam is going to lose out there, and he's also going to lose out to that second Alpine as well. Brabbit there is goodness me, they're inside each other. Oh, goodness gracious me. Luckily, the watershed has only just begun, so we should be okay with that one. Whoa, Menace is rear posterior. They're all out of shape then. There is Menace, and as he's flying past, Pete has got a penalty, unfortunately. Menace is going for it. He's had a look on the outside, so Indigo's going to defend the inside. He wants a second podium in a row, and there's contact, and Menace is in the wall. Oh, my word. And Menace has got damage there, as Nosy now in the 4th position. Sam Swift Ninja out of the Nigel Mansell turn, and Sam Swift Ninja is the world champion for the 2nd time in his career. The first driver to be champion on 2 different games in ALR is the first double world champion since Emerson back in season 5. Sam Swift Ninja is the world champion of Formula 1 2024. What a drive from Sam Swift Ninja, and what a performer indeed then. Since he stepped foot into ALR, this man has been the measuring stick of Grand Prix racing in ALR, with 32 starts, 15 wins, and almost a 50% win rate for Sam Swift Ninja. Him and Percy's rivalry over the past 2 seasons has been absolutely mega, but it's 2 Grand Prix, 2 World Championships now for Sam Swift Ninja. Spraying the bubbly, we're double world champion for Sam Swift, the 3rd double world champion there, and gotta say, sky is the limit for this man. The sky is the limit. He has rewritten the record books that has been very much in the hands of Emerson for so long, but Sam Swift, my goodness me, rewriting history in ALR. Sam Swift wins his 15th race of his career. 2nd is Immortal with Indigo in 3rd. Knowlesy, great drive to 4th position and possibly driver of the day for me. Markey in 5th with 6 Coop, possibly also driver of the day as well. 7th is Menace, Cam 8th, Legends 9th, Equals 10th, Rabbit 11th, Chappers 12th, Peas and Troy 13th and 14th. Retirements, Kaz, Boxed Out, Lights, Delando, Keza and Riley, all out of the Mexican Grand Prix. Oh, my word. And, wow. That was a pretty interesting Grand Prix, wasn't it? I must say. Safety car did get driver of the day. Got driver of the day. Well done, Burt Mylander. Absolutely deserved that one. However, Sam Swift Ninja will be the driver of the day, I feel. But I also must throw the ring in for Coop as and Soup, and also Knowlesy as well, who drove a absolutely supreme Grand Prix. Both those drivers did really well there. And also, Knowlesy, I would pick Knowlesy for driver of the day because I also want a chocolate bar. However, I think that Sam Swift Ninja possibly does deserve driver of the day because he came from the back of the field, down in 19th position. Sam Swift Ninja was at the back of the field, damage to his car, had to come through the field not once but twice there. The safety car may have helped him ever so slightly, but an absolutely supreme performance from Sam Swift Ninja to be crowned the world champion for the 2nd time in his career, which is absolutely mega stuff indeed. By the way, do not come at me with the dodgy downloads there on the old PlayStation. Unfortunately, Call of Duty keeps having more and more updates there, which is really annoying. There we go then. Indigo, great third position today as well. He's joined me in the interview pen there, and Indigo. Well, that was a tough old race there. Safety cars and everything else like that. Talk us about your race if you can.
I don't know, mate. It's just a very weird one. Like, there was so much happening in the race, and I had no idea, like, where I was in the whole scenarios. So in the first stint, I put on the hard compound tires because obviously I'm only thinking about one safety car. Because in recent ALR history this season, not many safety cars came out, so I was hoping that'd be the only one. And I went on the hard compound tires, and that was the best strategy to go to at that moment. But I got stuck behind people on all the tires as you expect, and they're fighting quite hard down at turn one. There's contact down at turn one between Brabbit, Cass, and Keza. They all have a massive concertina effect, and I have to avoid Boxtel because I'm coming as well. I'm in sixth place at the time, so 5 people make contact. I avoid Boxtel. Then Chappers goes back around the outside, which is not ideal because he's on all tires. I just dispatched him. Then Menace goes back around the outside, and I just dispatched him as well. So I'm all over the road, and Troy comes past as well, and Marky comes past. So it's just been a bit hectic this whole race. It's just so frustrating because it hasn't gone plain sailing at all. There's been multiple strategies, and I had no idea what to go for. I got spun around by an RB at the stadium session as he was trying to fight with somebody else, and it was such a difficult race, man. I tried to stay as clean as I possibly can. I tried my absolute best to stay clean, and despite all the contact ahead, behind, or whatever, I tried to keep my cool, but it was just so difficult in the end. So there was so much going on at once. I just tried to stay out of all of it. I told myself I don't want to be involved in this mess. I'm going for the race win, as I was in the first stint. But unfortunately, I got involved in a mess because of the concertina effect and people trying to reclaim their positions after they lost it by me. Then I think a second safety car came out. I can't remember when, but it disadvantaged me because when I got caught up in that melee with those guys, I had to double stack, and a teammate was ahead of me, and he got ahead of me because of that 14 issue we had, and but I rejoined in P11 and bit in a bit of no man's land there, trying to make my way through. Then finally, those guys get ahead of me, get off those tires, and put on a brand new set of whatevers, and yeah, it's just been a bit of a strange one, really. Not the race I wanted at all. I'm not really happy with P3, considering my season, my luck this season. I qualified P4, had a good qualifying for once. As you probably know, I got knocked out of Q1 multiple times this season. Then I'm finally into Q3, into fourth place, which is unexpected around a circuit like Mexico for me, my standards. Then all of a sudden, I'm in the lead of the Grand Prix. But the safety cars is what like predicted this race today. It was just like throwing a cat amongst the pigeons with people everywhere on different tyre strategies and different age of tyres as well, with different skill rates. So it was just a bit of a mess today. But at the end of that, I got on the podium, and I want to say to Menace Max, if that was my fault down at the turn 11, 13 corner before the stadium session, my apologies. I didn't mean for that to happen. I don't know. It was just a bit of a crazy race today. I just can't embrace what's happened. But at the end of it, I'm on the podium, so at least I got here.
Yeah, because I would say though that after your incredible race in USA last week, and you to be disappointed with opponents today, then I'd say that the sky's the limit for you, and potentially, if you say a race like this, where potentially it's not gone too well, you could potentially in the next 4 races get a Grand Prix win. Is that what you want before the end of the season?
Hopefully, I haven't had a win since season 9, Texas USA. So my goal is now, because I'm finally starting to get confident, I'm finally learning what's going wrong in races, qualifying. It's more of a learning curve now, and plus adjusting to this game because a few months ago, I was very bad at this game. I was like a second and a half, 2 seconds off from like people around me in this league. So that's how bad I was to start with, and I just thought to myself, right, I'm done. This is my last game. I can't do it anymore. My pace is gone, literally gone. Then I thought to myself, right, let's see what I'm doing wrong here. I just thought I'd do a few races in like Grand Prix mode and multiplayer and 5 lappers. And then all of a sudden, I've started to get more pace. I started to follow what other people do. I started to look at people's videos and try and learn and digest what they do as well. So I'm not 100% confident just yet in this in F124 because I'm still having problems, little problems, which I should be having. And it's cost me bit by bit, but it's a stepping stone at the end of the day. But yes, I'm definitely going for the race. Well, I'm trying to go for the race win in the next few races. It's going to be so difficult to get there. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'll try my absolute best to do it because I want it now. I wish I was here for the whole season because I think it would have been interesting and fighting for more podiums. My first time fighting my teammate as well. Immortal. He's clean. Yeah, we got involved in the scrap of the first stint, but I'm glad we made it out cleanly and we was able to like use each other's DRS because if Mortal was breaking out the DRS because his straight line speed was incredible, I could not keep up with the DRS. He pulled away in the straight, even though I had DRS and I was going to be exposed to Max, and I was very worried I'm going to lose a podium. But yeah, after this race, I was desperate for a podium because there's so much happened.
And you've broken into the top 10 as well, if my maths is correct, which is very, very dodgy. You about just under a win now behind Kazan. What do you look at the championship and think, I think it'd be a good season if I get to here or if I get to here? Because the amount of points you scored in the last 2 races, and potentially you could be looking at as high as maybe 6 or 6 in the championship, or don't you look at those things? Are you not concerned about that? It doesn't matter where you finish in the championship. You're just concerned about wins and podiums.
Well, it's on my mind a little bit. Let me be real with you. I was checking the championship standings before this race, and I saw myself in P11, and I was looking at the gap between me, Aquaz, Kaz, and Keza. I could possibly get Aquaz. I possibly get Kaz. Sorry, Kaz and Aquaz. I could get those two. But Keza may be a bit too far away from me. Well, there is 4 races left to go, so I never know. But yeah, season 9, I was looking at the championship season 10 actually. I don't know. Depends when it was, but I was looking at the championship, but not anymore because all I'm doing, like I said in season 9 and season 10, I'm focusing on one race at a time. You've heard that plenty of times from me, and I'm trying my absolute best to do that. It is so difficult to adjust this game because the grid is so tightly punched up, and 1 or 2 tenths. If you lose a tenth or two, you could be put out of Q1 despite having pace for Q3. That's how tight it was today. So I had to make sure that never happened again. Well, not happened again here today. And yeah, it's just so tight here, so anything could happen. But yeah, I'm quite happy for P3. I don't think I could have won the race, to be honest with you. I just don't think I had it in me to defend from Sam Smith because, once again, Sam is very quick and Max is as well, and Immortal is as well. So yeah.
What about Brazil? What do you reckon for that?
I believe I almost won the Brazilian Grand Prix last season, but I think Sam Smith just took it off me. I was quick in the sprint, but unfortunately I made the wrong strategy. Went on the soft compound tyres in the sprint race last season, and that was the wrong call because there's only about 3 or 4 laps left to go. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, that's a learning curve. But Brazilian Grand Prix, I have strong confidence for that track. It is a relatively good track for me, so I'm looking to try and get a decent result, and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Brazil. It should be a good one, and I'm hoping for another good result here tonight as well. So USA, Brazil, and Mexico, all 3 of them here in the left-hand side of the world. Hopefully, I can get a podium in all 3 of them.
You're loving the America side. Fantastic stuff, Indigo. And your 10th podium of your career as well. Magnificent stuff indeed. Right, that is going to be... Well, no, it isn't going to be it yet, because before we do go, just a quick word on Sam Swift Ninja becoming a double world champion now. Then, of course, if you just joined us, you missed a epic race. But Sam Swift Ninja is now a double world champion, the first driver to win 2 championships on 2 separate games. Really good stuff indeed. Our first double world champion since Emerson back in season 5. That's how competitive ALR has been. This season, though, basically since halfway through, we've been expecting a third double world champion for a very long time now. But what an incredible season it's been for Sam Swift Ninja. Listen to the stats before I go, because I love a bit of good old stat. Sam Swift Ninja, 19 Grand Prix starts, 9 Grand Prix wins, 15 podiums as well, and only 1 DNF for Sam Swift. Basically, it's won the last 3 Grand Prix in a row. Singapore, USA, and Mexico. Sam Swift Ninja has been untouchable. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And Williams also inched closer to the Constructors' Championship as well. Hats off to Sam Swift Ninja. We're going to leave it there. Sam Swift Ninja, your double world champion, as I said then, for season 10 and 11. Well done, Sam Swift. Goodbye.